Chapter 1. Linghuan City. Since the early hours of the morning, the city has entered a certain pattern. That is, the state of the college entrance examination. The traffic police control the traffic of vehicles to reduce the impact of noise on students' college entrance examinations. At the same time, respond to all kinds of wonderful events at any time. Such as going to the wrong designated exam school, the ID card expired, the invigilator did not bring the ID card, and so on. College entrance examination students. X. Exam traffic police, but this year is destined to have one more weird thing. On the last bus to Linghuan No. 1 Middle School to participate in the college entrance examination. Most of the students have already arrived at the examination room. On the bus, there were only a few scattered students left. Then two middle-aged men playing with their mobile phones. Final corner position. Jiang Bai was yawning in high spirits. Who knows the family members? After finally traveling through time, why do we need to take the college entrance examination again? That's right, Jiang Bai is a time traveler. I won't elaborate on the specific reasons for the crossing, lest you travel to the unlucky world. In short, waking up one day, Jiang Baiju found himself transported to a parallel world. Time travel Jiang Bai, who is familiar with online articles, knows it all too well. Expressing that there is no panic at all, but what does the world look like? Of course, Jiang Bai also has cheating cheats for every traveler. The strongest knight system. Generally, it is called a game queue to fight, the strongest knight, and it doesn't end well. But this is the system, Jiang Bai said it was good. The function of the system is very clear, bound to a certain knight system. By completing achievements, kill monsters to get rewards, and upgrade knights. According to the degree of compatibility, the system binds Jiang Bai to Kamen Rider Deeked, Emperor Rider. Sao Fan Knight's strength is not enough. And according to the system introduction, as long as you activate the system, complete tasks or achieve achievements, you can get various knight control cards. What Invincible Player, Hell Locust, Polar Fox Mark 9, Total Black Hole, etc., there are countless bug cards. So Jiang Bai always thought that he was about to embark on the road of the strongest knight, a road where gods block and kill gods, and Buddhas block and kill Buddhas. But Tongzi, are you sure we didn't go to the wrong world? Sitting on the bus, closing his eyes and falling asleep, Jiang Bai couldn't help complaining. Advertisement in this world, identities are orphans. He was raised in an orphanage, and has lived alone since high school. 18 years. He hadn't even seen a monster before. No, this is not right. Isn't this system activated by killing monsters? There are no monsters here, how do I activate it? How to get those driving cards? Jiang Bai thought about it, and felt that the only possibility was, Tongzi took him through the wrong world. Host, please don't call me Tongzi, and don't say nasty words. Please rest assured, the host, we did not travel through the wrong world. The weirdo hiding in this world may appear in the next second. I hope you are not stubborn. Jiang Bai expressed doubts. But the reality is that it can only be accepted. Only. It's outrageous to take the college entrance examination again. I practiced the full level number, not for this kind of thing. Reluctantly holding his forehead, he dragged his chin and looked out the window. Outside was a traffic policeman riding a motorcycle with the engine fully on. At first glance, which ID card was forgotten? This fun happens every year. Jiang Bai also took it as a joke. Anyway, it won't happen to me. It's not true that someone can miss the college entrance examination because of all kinds of weird things, right? But the road was driving, and Jiang Bai gradually realized that something was wrong. In the car, several students who went to Linjiang No. 1 Middle School to participate in the college entrance examination also found that something was wrong. One of the girls with glasses whispered to the driver, "Uncle driver, this road, why isn't it right? Isn't Linjiang No. 1 Middle School just past the corner?" "Yes, yes. Uncle went the wrong way, turn around quickly." Several students reacted. At this moment, they are drifting away in the opposite direction of Linjiang No. 1 Middle School. "That's right, it's in this direction." The driver's hoarse voice came. "Hey?" But obviously, a thin boy stood up and walked forward, as if he wanted to show the driver the way. But just 2 steps away, a middle-aged man who was playing with his mobile phone suddenly stood up and punched the student in the stomach. Advertisement. How could a group of students who hadn't stepped out of the ivory tower withstand this kind of attack? Immediately, he clutched his stomach and fell to the ground, his face contorted in pain. Ah! Yet! Seeing this, the girl in the car couldn't believe it, and yelled. The boy couldn't believe it, and suddenly got up from the chair. You, what are you doing? Tang, Tang Hai! Call the police, call the police! The students who responded quickly had already taken out their mobile phones and prepared to call the police. But suddenly another middle-aged man knocked down the phone with his backhand. One after the other, the 5 or 6 students sitting by the door were surrounded. Terrified, and full of doubts. The 2 uncles in the car suddenly smiled strangely. In the next second, his body swelled up for no reason, and instantly turned into a hideous green monster. Zerg from the Kamen Rider Koto series. But they are all larvae. After turning into a larva, it quickly imitated 2 of the students. The body shrunk again, turning into the appearance of 2 boys. This is the Zerg's ability, mimicry. It can fully replicate the appearance, memory, and emotion of human beings. This group of students had never seen such a scene before. The 2 girls, and the timid boy, fainted from fright. The remaining 2 were knocked out without a hit. And the whole time, the driver didn't look back. What does this mean? No need to think about it. Before the Zerg could kill it, the driver's voice was hoarse. Take it back first, it's too loud to kill it directly. There is one more, deal with it. When the sound fell, the 2 larvae locked their eyes on Jiang Bai. Hiss. There was a hissing sound. It's like the bad taste of a hunter playing tricks on his prey. They seemed to be looking forward to the fact that the remaining one would faint in panic and begging for mercy just like the student just now. But unexpectedly, Jiang Bai suddenly laughed. That sunny and handsome face can be called a happy face of a rich woman, enough to casually fool a rich woman into watching the starry sky under the sea with him. Smile now. Dragon Boat Festival reading big discount. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity time, June 22nd to June 24th, advertisement. Chapter 2. I'm sorry, Tongzi. Sure enough, I misunderstood you. There are really weird people in this world. But you are too smart, you just said that it might appear in the next second, but it really did appear. Get up from your chair. 2 larvae, they are not qualified as novice monsters. But forget it, there is no need to dislike it for the time being. Hiss. There was a terrifying roar from the 2 larvae. Although the words were incomprehensible, one could feel that they seemed very confused. Don't make too much noise. There was no blood on the driver's face, but instead revealed a strange gloomy look. After receiving the order, the 2 larvae looked at each other, then waved their sharp claws and approached with a hiss. The closest larva is the first to attack, although the larva can be called a miscellaneous soldier. But their claws can easily penetrate the human body. Swipe out of the room. Jiang Bai made a move at the same time, took a step back slightly, then turned around and kicked sideways. A powerful blow hit the larva's face, and the opponent's body backed up, hitting the body of another larva, almost falling to the ground together. Jiang Bai glanced at the narrow space. It's really inconvenient to use your hands and feet. Originally, I wanted to experience the power of my 18 years of leveling. Unfortunately, it seems that there is no chance. Then let's make a quick decision. So the Emperor Ride driver appeared on the waist. His Imperial driver is Sao, Magenta. There are 2 types of Emperor riding drivers, white and magenta. The latter is an upgraded version that appeared in Kamen Rider Emperor Chi King of Time. All data are far better than the white Emperor riding version. Jiang Bai's is the magenta version. Put it on your waist at this moment, and the binding is complete. Then draw out the transformation control card. Kamen Ride Decade, Kamen riding the Emperor Ride. Advertisement. Push violently with one hand, and a phantom figure appeared in an instant. Flakes popped up on the drive, when grey and white figures staggered. Flakes inserted into the body. The compound eyes light up, and the oblique crosses engraved on the chest. Kamen Rider Emperor Chi, now on the scene. Suddenly, an invisible air current was tossing around him. The scorching heat of summer. The air conditioner in the bus didn't work. At this moment, the breath of danger rushed over. The driver couldn't help turning his head back, and then froze slightly. Pink, Kamen Rider. With a straight arm swing, it hit the larva on the face. It slammed into the glass of the bus, and the glass broke open immediately. Click. Thorn La La. He turned around and kicked another Zerg in the chest, and the strong force directly trampled it to the ground. Jiang Bai curled his lips and corrected him very seriously, "It's magenta." Magenta. Does it make a difference? The driver wondered. But because of the sudden collision, the bus almost tilted over. Without thinking about it, he stepped on the accelerator with all his strength and headed towards his destination. As long as you reach your destination, you will be a mere Kamen rider. Can't do anything. So on the road, just like this, a bus wobbled, and from time to time there was a very carring sound. Linjiang City, Hualien District. A building away from the city. On the roof, with the curtains drawn, it was a dark conference room. The middle-aged man in the chief seat was wearing a black suit and parted in the middle, drinking tea filled with goji berries from time to time. With a sad face, he asked the man on the left, who was also wearing a suit and was already Mediterranean at a young age, "Xiao Xiat, how is the investigation going?" Xia Yiming, the Minister of Intelligence who owns the Mediterranean Sea and is a symbol of the strong, took a deep breath and said with a little sadness, "Advertisement people from our intelligence department have followed the clues and have identified the lair of the Zerg. However, in the case of the sacrifice of 5 people from the intelligence department, the number of Zerg that has been detected clearly exceeds 100. The number of adult worms cannot be determined, but it is known that there are more than 3. The head of the executive department, Yan Daosheng, who was drinking wolfberry tea for health preservation, heard the words. Suddenly the teacup almost fell to the ground. Hiss! Is it this bad already? Fang Xianwen, the head of the data analysis department, frowned. "Old Yan, this amount is beyond what we can handle at the moment, and we have to apply for help from the headquarters." After a pause, he looked at the other ministers and assistants. They turned off their phones at the same time. Then Fang Xianwen coughed twice. "Zergs have always been active in the Kyoto area, and now they are suddenly concentrated here. I'm worried because of that thing." When talking about that thing, the expressions of several ministers changed slightly, and then their eyes turned to the Minister of Logistics at the same time. The Logistics Minister is about 30 years old, about the same as the Intelligence Minister Xia Yiming. But obviously his job is relatively easy, and there is no symbol of a strong man. Seeing that he was the focus, he quickly took out a cigarette, lit it and took a puff. "Don't look at me, I, the Logistics Minister, know the value of that thing very well. She is now protected in an airtight manner, and it is impossible for the news to leak from our logistics department." The other ministers looked at each other with different expressions, and then they all fell into deep thought. For a moment the memories fell silent. Finally, Yan Daosheng, the highest-ranking director of the executive department, put down his teacup. "Tell the situation to the headquarters, we need the support of the headquarters. Let Zhang Shiyu and the knights who have no missions in the branch all be dispatched to seal off the Zerg's lair to prevent the disaster from expanding. Xiao Xiat, I leave it to you to investigate the reason why the Zerg gathered in Linjiang. If it really involves that thing, it means that our internal." Yan Daosheng is a middle-aged man with a good temper. Perhaps it was because of fighting and killing in the first half of his life, but now he has become milder. Live a healthy life with goji berries and tai chi all day long. But now, his voice was colder and more dangerous than ever. "It seems to be that serious warrior again. Hoarse and low, revealing a murderous look. There may be a problem within us. Dragon Boat Festival reading big discount. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity time, June 22nd to June 24th, advertisement." Chapter 3. The bus wobbled all the way and left the city. At last, boom! Suddenly there was an explosion, and the airflow surged. The overwhelmed bus broke directly from the middle position, split into 2, and slid continuously until it dragged conspicuous marks on the ground before stopping. Click! Stab it! The glass shattered, and a larva flew out of the car window uncontrollably. It fell heavily on the ground and rolled several times before stopping. Hiss! A cry full of pain came. Just about to struggle to get up. Suddenly a big foot stepped on her body and she couldn't move. Chi. With a little force, the larva finally couldn't continue to bear the damage. Exploded directly with a bang. The green flames are now filling the Magenta Knight's side. Yu raised her compound eyes slightly, and landed on the driver who climbed out of the other half of the bus. Seeing that the 2 companions had been killed, the driver suddenly looked gloomy. "UBD. Who the hell are you?" Death question triggered. Jiang Bai's eyes could not help but become pitiful. Then, a flat voice sounded. It's just a passing Kamen Rider. Remember it. The driver, who hadn't realized the seriousness of the problem, suddenly began to swell. Then another larva appeared. Tisk, are they all larvae? Jiang Bai is a bit disgusted. The novice monsters don't have bats and spiders, so they always feel that there is something missing. Take out the card box casually, turn it over and turn it into a sword form. Seems to think of something. He added, by the way, aren't your larvae all M? Why don't those two have any signs of molting at all? The larvae can be turned into adults by molting, and they can master the ability of clock up. Well known. When the weapons of miscellaneous soldiers focus on fire, not only can it send away the Kamen Rider Thunderfly, but it can also help the larva molt. But it seems that the two larvae did not have such a good life. The larva ahead seemed to feel insulted. With a demonstrative roar, he rushed forward with a sharp claw. Jiang Bai wiped the card box sword casually, and then the long sword slashed out. Zhang! Sparks shoot out from the larva's chest position. Advertisement hiss. With a mournful roar, the sharp claw swung out again. Jiang Bai turned around and swung his long sword at the same time. Zhang! Zhang! Whether it is speed or reaction, he is far better than the larva. In an instant, sparks burst out continuously. When the attack comes to a critical point, on the surface of the larva's body, the temperature suddenly rose continuously. It looks like it's about to explode. But suddenly, its body began to melt. That's right, melting. The larva molts. Zhang! The kabak's sword was blocked by sharp claws. The green bloated body of the larva melted instantly, replaced by a refined body full of hideous feeling. Spider Zerg. Jiang Bai couldn't help raising his eyebrows slightly. You Zerg are really a group of masochists like the rumors. But, the spider is a novice monster. As we all know, spiders, bats, worship the sky, and their magic power is boundless. For a qualified protagonist, a novice strange spider or bat monster is indispensable. Hiss. After molting, the ugly sound of the Zerg became more and more crazy. Zerg's IQ is still good. After all, it mimics human beings. Basically about the average human IQ. Understand the danger of the pink Kamen Rider in front of you. At this moment, decisively use the Zerg's most powerful ability, uptime. Suddenly, the body disappeared from the place. Particles that greatly speed up their movement and flow allow themselves to move freely within the time flow. Simply put, speeding up yourself slows down time. Uptime, to a certain extent, involves the field of time. This is different from other acceleration abilities in Kamen Rider. The strongest Zerg with the body of God of War has the ability to stop time within a certain range. And the Hypa form of Jiadu's final form can freely travel through the timeline. It's all a use of time. And at this moment, the adult spider that used the time scaling disappeared from sight. It keeps flashing, and it will appear on the left side for a while, and one side is on the right side, and the position changes continuously. It's like teasing prey. Advertisement, or maybe it's putting pressure on Jiang Bai. But unfortunately, the latter just unhurriedly drew out a control card. Speaking of which, the standard configuration of the full level account is to defeat accelerated enemies without the ability to accelerate, right? It's like Jiadu's first transformation using light refraction, no need to upgrade, and also defeating adults. And in Kamen Rider Emperor Rider, King of Time, Kamen Yashi punched Gates, who was in a state of heavy acceleration, until he opened his mouth and closed his eyes. And now, it's Jiang Bai's turn. Attack ride slash. Attack control. Slash. This is an enhanced attack card. There are 2 cards in total, 1 slash, that strengthens the slash A blast that strengthens shooting. At this moment, a dangerous light suddenly appeared on the Kahei sword. The power is concentrated, and the cold light is ready to go. Slowly, he put his palm on the sword. Wiping the strengthened sword with your hand is so brave. Hiss. At this moment, the adult spider is still exploring, its body flickers from left to right. And finally, it disappeared from sight in an instant. Appeared again, behind the Emperor's cavalry. Then, the spider spins silk. As long as you trap the opponent, it will be fish on the chopping board. But in an instant, Jiang Bai suddenly turned sideways. Then the long sword swung out. The cold light flicked across, and the amazing power contained within it was cut out. Hiss! The adult spider was unbelievable, and the terrifying hissing reverberated. The card box sword slashed across his chest. Next second, painful screams came out. Boom! The spider became an adult and exploded in response. Firelight permeates the whole body. At the same time, a voice echoed in Jiang Bai's ear. The host has completed the first kill, the system is activating, activation complete. The achievement system is on, congratulations to the host for completing the first kill, and then the night control card will be drawn. It is detected that the host is currently in a combat situation, the enemy is Zerg, and the drawn card is locked as the Jiadu series. After the extraction is complete, the host will get the Kamen Rider Jindu control card. The killing mode is on, the host is asked to kill monsters and knights as much as possible, and the system will reward the knights with control cards according to the completion progress. Dragon Boat Festival reading big discount. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity time, June 22nd to June 24th, advertisement. Chapter 4. Kill the Weirdos, and the Knights. Kin. This is very imperial writing. What a world destroyer. You can't do without the special attack on Knights, right? Tongzi, stop pretending, get on your overhaul card number. You are not overhauled card manufacturing. Let me kill all Kamen Riders and help Dishakar rule the world undercover? Jiang Bai said in his heart that it was outrageous. But now, he is more concerned about. The system just said. He's in a combat situation? Isn't the battle just over? Or? Hiss. Sudden. There was a hissing sound. The familiar, ghastly sound of the Zerg echoed. Jiang Bai raised his head. Then he found that in the unfinished building not far away, countless Zerg were staring at him. The scorching heat of summer. Pairs of pupils exuding green light, can't help but be breathtaking. Just looking at it made me shudder. But Jiang Bai. At this moment, his face was full of smiles. Here comes the night driving card. How can this be a ferocious and terrifying Zerg? Obviously, they are bright, cute, and charming night control cards. Wipe the card box sword casually. Jiang Bai walked towards the unfinished building. This is a rotten building. I have been patronizing the battle before and haven't found it yet. Looking carefully now, it turned out to be Donghui City Community. It is said that the boss rolled up and ran away with his sister-in-law. Now it's an unfinished building, and I haven't found a big boss to take over. It was a hot day, and there was no one alive. In other words, even if there are living people, they will be transformed into Zerg-killing mimics. It seems that this place has become a nest of Zerg. What a turn of events. I haven't seen weirdos in 18 years, but this time I saw so many. Probably estimated, probably close to 3 digits. I don't know what good things I can get by killing them all. Hiss. Just stepped into the unfinished building. Advertisement. A few Zergs rushed over directly. The ferocious body kept approaching, waving its sharp claws. Jiang Bai flipped the cartridge sword casually and switched to gun form. Boom. 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 The muzzle shot out a light bullet, which hit the Zerg's body, and sparks shot out. The Zerg kept retreating. Overwhelmed, it exploded directly. Those who barely persisted were also completely defeated and flew out. The figure strolling in the yard slowly walked towards the building at this moment. The unfinished building stopped after a total of 3 floors were built. It was originally scheduled to be 12 floors. Only a quarter of the way done, but it's now overrun by Zerg. Jiang Bai raised the cartridge gun and killed it lightly. Adult insects that haven't molted their skin can't even make him serious. Random attacks will kill in pieces. This is the power of the full level number. Between the flames, the Zerg exploded in pieces. The knight who seemed to be aware of this attack was not an ordinary character. Sudden. Jiang Bai noticed something and raised his head slightly. Pang. Suddenly there was a heavy muffled sound, and the ceiling of the unfinished building was directly pierced. Immediately afterwards, the ferocious body suddenly struck. Uptime. It's an Imago. Appeared in front of Jiang Bai in an instant. The cartridge gun was raised quickly to block the attack of the adults. This time it was an adult firefly. And besides that, there's an adult ladybug, an adult jumper. One left and one right, surround yourself. And except for the molted adults, as far as the eye could see, larvae that almost covered the entire ground were slowly attacking. Hiss! Hiss! That harsh and distorted voice. This moment came one after another, like a hunter humming a song in joy before hunting his prey. Jiang Bai. Deep in the encirclement. Looking at the harsh and continuous neighing sound, he couldn't help frowning slightly. It's really noisy. It seems to be a little more serious. Alright, let's try a new card. The card box opens. Draw out the only few night control cards among them. Contains Jindu transformation control cards, attack control cards, and ultimate attack control cards. Advertisement Kamen Rider Kanto. From Kamen Rider Koto the movie, the writer of Speedy Love. Very strong, the first knight to use the power of Hypa. A full-fledged knight who instantly killed Yindu in his first appearance. Then the sun god Jiadu and the god of war Gangda joined forces, and they were both suppressed to death. If it weren't for the way of heaven that doesn't respect martial arts, while the steel bucket was resisting the attack, he would snatch Jindu's Hypa insect. Zerg will really rule that parallel world. And now, the one in Jiang Bai's hand is the control card in the form of Jindu Hypa. As soon as it comes up, it is Wang Jia. It's so bullying. But, he loves it. The full level number is to match the full level form, this is the best match, best match. What kind of foundation is used, but the price is reduced to force the price. If you are dealing with your Zerg, use this. Fingers pinch the card, insert it into the waist drive, and put both hands together. Kamen Ride Caucasus. Kamen rides the Caucasus. Jindo, nicknamed the Golden Knight. Just like its name, it is a pure Golden Knight. The shape is quite unique, the prototype is the Nanyang giant worm, full of a sense of domineering. Get rid of you all in one go. Jiang Bai drew 2 cards in a row. Quickly insert the waist drive. Attack Ride, Happer Clock Up. Attack Control. Hypa is time shifted. This is an advanced time scaling, with the ability to travel through the past. Final Attack Ride CCC Caucasus, Final Attack Ride. Golden Fight. Papa. Jiang Bai clapped his hands. Ying Ying's shining compound eyes scanned the surrounding Zergs. There are a lot of them, but they are all average in strength. There are no Zerg here that are too powerful to deal with. So, get rid of them all in one go. Hiss. This moment. Those Zergs with more than 3 digits were daunting just by looking at them. But it seems to have seen something terrifying. One by one began to neigh. In a sharp voice. Filled with the feeling of fear. Then, suddenly, the Golden Knight's body disappeared from sight. Then in the unfinished building, countless Zerg bodies, exploded one after another. Pang! Pang! Dragon Boat Festival reading big discount. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity time, June 22nd to June 24th, advertisement. Chapter 5. Donghui City District. 3 armed vehicles stopped. The door opened, and about 20 people quickly got out of the car. Standing at the front was a young, beautiful woman in her mid-20s wearing a windbreaker. He looked forward with a serious face. Keep your distance and open the blockade. Don't let anyone else come near you. All knights are ready to fight, this group of Zerg cannot be allowed to leave here. After receiving the order, the people who got off the car quickly started to act. Their attire is a uniform, a black combat trench coat. About 5 of them had gold borders on their chests. And to keep the distance, to pull the cordon off, the trim is white. It means work is different. The former are combatants of the executive department, all Kamen Riders, only 3 or 4 of them. The latter is the logistics department, responsible for cleaning up the scene, evacuating the crowd, and there are a lot of people. And wearing a black windbreaker, a woman who looks about 23 or 23 is called Zhang Shiyu. In the scorching heat, looking at the building ahead, Zhang Shiyu took a deep breath and put on the special gloves. Then turn on the special communication device. The device uses special encrypted signals to prevent interception and eavesdropping. Hey, hello. This is Zhang Shiyu from the executive department, we have arrived at the scene. I'm Yan Daos Hung from the executive department, Xiao Zhang, let's stand by first. Executive Minister Yan Daos Hung, and several other ministers were in the meeting room. Remotely observe the situation on the scene, and at the same time ordered, this time the enemy is Zerg. Unlike in the past, our Linjiang branch does not have the ability to fight against time scaling. Lock the scene first to prevent the Zerg from expanding its damage. The support from the headquarters will arrive in 2 days. Before that, do what we can. Communications are temporarily blocked. Zhang Shiyu took a deep breath, facing the Zerg. No matter how powerful we knights are, it's useless. This feeling of powerlessness is really bad. An assistant in the data analysis department, a girl with clear and stupid eyes full of college students. Lifting his black-rimmed glasses, he said blankly, "Advertisement Sister Zhang, there is no way to do this, after all, it is a Zerg who has mastered the time-scaling transformation. Regular knights simply can't keep up with them. Besides, according to the information from the Ministry of Intelligence, there are more than 3 digits of Zerg here, and at least 3 adults. Even if the knights who specialize in dealing with Zerg come here, I'm afraid it will be very difficult to deal with." Zhang Shiyu frowned, "So, even if someone from the headquarters comes, it will be difficult to clean up the Zerg here." "It depends on who it is." The glasses girl thought for a while and replied. "Anyway, this number of Zergs is difficult to deal with even at the headquarters. I don't know why they suddenly gathered in our Linjiang. You must know that there are very few Zergs in Linjiang." Zhang Shiyu was silent. As if thinking of something, his expression suddenly changed slightly. But it quickly returned to normal. "Let's go to the car and wait first. Before the people from the headquarters arrive, it's good to block this place." Just about to turn around. But suddenly, boom, boom, boom. A deafening explosion came from the unfinished building. The building trembled, grit, dust, and slate fell off. That considerable movement caused Zhang Shiyu to turn her head abruptly. The others also raised their heads at the same time. And so they saw. Inside the building, the green flame symbolizes the life of the Zerg. At this moment, the explosions continued. From the 2nd floor, to the 3rd floor, to the 4th floor, then the entire building was instantly overwhelmed. With the wall constantly trembling, it finally collapsed. Dust and gravel swept across, accompanied by air waves, surging in the scorching heat. In an instant, Zhang Shiyu seemed to see a golden figure flash past. After a while, in the silence of gunpowder and smoke, Zhang Shiyu lowered her arm to shield the dust from the collapsed building. Advertisement: the image of the building turned into ruins was reflected in the beautiful eyes. Suddenly, she took out the lost drive and put it on her waist. Then, Ace memory in hand. Zhang Shiyu, Kamen Rider Ace. From Kamen Rider W, he is called the Showa Knightborn in Heisei because of his unpretentious relationship. Holding the memory, keeping vigilance and caution, Zhang Shiyu headed towards the ruins. The expression of the assistant glasses lady who accompanied her to carry out the task changed slightly. "Sister Zhang, be careful." With that said, quickly open the communication. "Minister, something happened. The unfinished building occupied by the Zerg was destroyed." As soon as this remark came out, several ministers in the conference room suddenly showed surprised expressions. "What? The unfinished building was destroyed? What about the Zerg? Did the Zerg do it? Or who? How's the situation? Where's Zhang Shiyu?" Came to the downstairs where the gravel was flying and the dust was billowing. Zhang Shiyu turned on the communication and carefully checked the situation in the ruins. "I'm figuring out what's going on, but for now, the Zerg are all dead. There should be no escape, but because the Zerg controls the clock-up relationship, I can't be sure." Fang Xianwen, the director of the data analysis department, shook his head at this moment. "No one escaped, all of them died. The thermal imaging camera shows that the Zerg has encountered an irresistible attack in an instant." A moment. Yan Daosheng caught this key word. "Although it's unbelievable, it's just a moment." Fang Xianwen took a deep breath and confirmed. Silence. For a moment, the entire conference room fell silent. Looking at each other, you look at me, I look at you, the faces are full of surprise and disbelief. After a while, Yan Daosheng coughed twice. "Xiaozhang, record the situation at the scene, and then come back." "Yes." Zhang Shiyu nodded. When he was about to take the team back, he suddenly saw something. "Minister. Here, there is a bus that has been split in 2. Dragon Boat Festival reading big discount. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity time, June 22nd to June 24th, advertisement." Chapter 6. Congratulations to the host, the 100 kill achievement has been achieved. and the Knight control card is drawn. Successful drawing, you will get Kamen Rider Koto control card, Kamen Rider Koto Hypa form control card. Killing statistics. 121 larvae and 3 adults were killed. The system starts to settle. The settlement is completed. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the Kamen Rider Sword Scorpion control card, and the Kamen Rider Thunderfly control card. When Jiang Bai used the power of Hypa Jindu to instantly kill the Zerg in the entire building. The reward of the system is to appear. There are several cards in the card box at the waist. Kamen Rider Kato's Transformation Control Card, Form Control Card, Attack Control Card, Final Form Control Card, Insect Form. And the most precious, Hypa Form Control Card. Another full-level Form Control Card. Hypa Jiadu. This is more handsome than Jindu. The full-level number, with the final form, is indeed the best match. Jiang Bai couldn't help but look forward to the fact that that unlucky guy would be beaten into a fool when he was about to use the Hypa Jiadu. And besides that, Kamen Rider Sword Scorpion and Thunderfly. They are all knights in the battle. The transformation of Sword Scorpion is the sword of the gods, the real man who is a Zerg, but wants to kill all the Zerg, including himself. Kamen Rider Thunderfly, this one has to be used with care. After all, in the theatrical version of Speedy Love, he was killed by a group of humans with bullets. It can be called the shame of Kamen Rider. If you can, don't use it. But speaking of which, I have the Emperor Chi driver. When can I get the final Chi driver? Although Kamen Rider is finally riding a single knight. But in fact, the ultimate cavalry gun is the exclusive equipment made by Daxia card for the Imperial Cavalry. If there is such a thing, then your Imperial Cavalry is complete. And he can also summon Thunderfly, who doesn't like to transform himself, as a thug. Of course, the ultimate gun thing is now invisible. Figure it out first. This thing. Jiang Bai looked at the things in his hands. It looks like a military mobile phone, compared to the usual ones. The mobile phone in the palm is more like a multi-layered one. About 4 centimeters wide, the length is basically the same as a normal mobile phone. Old antique, looks like a clamshell, but strangely can't open it. Host, this is a special mobile phone that requires iris scanning. Advertisement iris scan. That said, Jiang Bai saw a tiny iris scan on the surface of the flip. Only through authentication can it be opened. The phone came from a defeated Zerg, the adult ladybug. Seems to be the leader of the Zerg in the building. It also uses special iris scanning. It seems that this thing is quite important. Tongzi, help me pass the certification. As soon as I finished speaking, the special mobile phone in front of me suddenly clicked and rang. Authentication succeeded. This is the function of Tongzi. Except for things related to knights, Tongzi is omnipotent. Falsifying identities, offering money, buying houses, and stuff like that. The system can help with everything. Except that if you can't come up, you will give yourself a card of the King of Demons as a gift package for beginners. His system is simply the unification in his dream. Universal system, get the certification. Then Jiang Bai saw what looked like the main page of the chat group. Phantom, I heard that the Zergs are very active recently. They are all gathering in Linjiang district. What are they doing? Orfino, haven't you heard? A genius came out of Linjiang, and made something to restrain the Zerg. Magic puppet, administrator, something that restrains Zerg? Could it be a pesticide? Dopant, isn't there a Zerg in the group? Ask. Administrators go ask. Magic machine puppet, administrator at. Come out, Zerg. Okay, it looks like I'm not pinching Phantom, perhaps it is on a mission. Magic machine puppet, the records show that you seem to have had a good chat with the Zerg recently. Do you know something? Fallen, how do you know magic puppet? Hey, the ARC system was invented by me after all. As an administrator, of course I can see some things that you can't see. But don't worry, I just watched the frequency of your chats. I signed a non-disclosure agreement for the content, and I will never read it. Fallen, head authority dog. Phantom, head authority dog. Of Enoch, head authority dog. Doping body, head permission dog, +1. A series of +1s blasted out all the diving ones. I see. This TM is a villain communication group, right? All villains, not a single good guy. Wait, I have done good deeds all my life, how could I encounter this kind of thing? Advertisement. Oh, the Imperial Cavalry is a world breaker. That's all right. I'm also considered a half-villain, so it's only natural to join the group. Through chatting with a group of villains, Jiang Bai probably understood this thing. Arc system. The equipment developed by the magic machine for communication with weirdos should be a special signal encryption. For the epoch-making artificial intelligence weirdo-like magic machine puppet. It is not difficult to make a communication device. But this world really has all kinds of weirdos. I saw the Zerg first, and now the doping body, the magic machine, and Ophelia. And from Kamen Rider Wizard, the Phantom and Mages. Presumably other weirdos should also exist. It should be pretty bad news for the rest of the world. But it is undoubtedly good news for Jiang Bai. After all, if there are enough monsters, he can get enough night control cards. But about the Zerg they said gathered in Linjiang. This is very important news. And when meditating, suddenly the phone rang. Jiang Bai looked down. It was the news of the fallen man's private chat. Are you still alive? Why didn't you reply to the message? Is it really dead? Jiang Bai didn't answer, just flipped through the records. There was not much information, but he quickly locked in a few of them. The fallen, latest news, the Night Security Bureau, the Linjiang branch has created something that can deal with your Zerg. Zerg. The fallen, the arc was made by a magic machine, she may be able to see our records, so let me tell you when we meet in reality. When the time comes, you will know whether what I said is true. Cavaliers. Security Bureau? Is it the Kamen Rider organization of this world? Linjiang branch, that's where we are. So it was for this reason that the Zerg gathered here. It's a pity that this fallen man was quite cautious and didn't disclose more plans on the arc system. Otherwise, Jiang Bai will be able to figure out the situation directly. By the way, what is the so-called thing to deal with Zerg? Could it be an insecticide? Dragon Boat Festival reading big discount. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity time, June 22nd to June 24th, advertisement. Chapter 7. Night Security. Linjiang Branch. Ministry of Intelligence Area. Based on intelligence, the driver of the bus should have been replaced by Zerg about 5 days ago. The purpose is to turn the students on the bus into Zergs and invade our society at a deeper level. The Zerg is still the same, and has never given up on infiltrating human society. Now even a group of children are not spared. Minister Xia Yiming sat at the desk. Facing the communication screen, he scratched his almost non-existent hair and sighed. While feeling emotional, he touched his chin in doubt, but the weird thing is, the students should not have been turned into Zergs. The one who killed all Zergs in an instant saved them without accident. But, who is it? When did such a great guy appear among the knights? The opposite of the communication is naturally Zhang Shiyu. She is in the hospital, taking care of some fainted students. Is it possible, not a knight? Standing in the corridor, Zhang Shiyu thought for a while and said, "You want to talk about weirdos? Although the weirdos are not in harmony, and each has their own calculations and small thoughts, it's okay to attack the Zerg without any purpose, isn't it?" Xia Yiming denied this guess. Then, do you want to investigate the bus? Is it possible that the person who shot the Zerg was also on the bus at the time? Zhang Shiyu asked again. She thought of her peripheral vision. The golden figure seen in a glimpse. It's unlikely. Xia Yiming shook his head. You have to know that there is a danger of killing 100 Zergs in an instant. It doesn't make sense to have more Zergs on such a powerful car. The only explanation is that the strong man should have passed by chance, or just went for the building occupied by the Zerg. It just happened that this group of students were brought to the building by the Zerg in the car, and they were going to imitate them, so they were lucky enough to save their lives. Zhang Shiyu was silent. Indeed, this is currently the most plausible explanation. After all, according to his own statement, the strong man who can instantly kill 100 Zergs is on the bus. Then the car won't be cut open until it reaches the Zerg building. The corridors of the hospital are crowded with people. It was relatively quiet though. Until suddenly, the door of the next ward opened. A cute girl named Yan Xiaosu opened the door and came out. The eyes are full of the clear stupidity of college students. Sister Zhang. This uncontrollable yell directly attracted the attention of all the people in the corridor. Realizing that she was being stupid, Yan Xiaosu quickly covered her face, and whispered in embarrassment to the dazed Zhang Shiyu, "Sister Zhang, 2 boys among those high school candidates have woken up. They told me, there was another boy in the car who wasn't in the ward. Immediately, Zhang Shiyu froze as if struck by lightning. The pupils tightened accordingly, and a terrible situation lay ahead. There is a high probability that a student has been turned into a Zerg. And he escaped. Advertisement. Oops. I'll check his identity now. Xia Yiming also realized the seriousness of the problem, and quickly started to investigate. Students who missed the morning college entrance examination. The last group of students going up to Linjiang No. 1 Middle School. There are clues, it should be in time. ARC system. Is the idiosyncratic weirdo communication system. In a separate chat group. Magic Puppet, there is good news and bad news to tell you. Fallen. Magical Puppet, which one do you want to know first? Cute.jpg Fallen, bad news, Magic Puppet, okay. Then I will tell you good news. Zerg's ARC communication did not self-destruct the Fallen, she should be resenting me for talking about authority dogs. Must be. After a pause, he replied, what is the bad news? Magical Puppet, for the sake of confidentiality, the ARC system conducts iris scanning authentication every day. It's fine if you pass it, but if you don't pass it, it means, its owner is dead, and the ARC will, self-destruct. Fallen. Magical Puppet, so, you said that the Zerg was dead, maybe it was wrong news. Of course, if you are really sure that the Zerg is dead, then the only explanation is, the ARC fell into the hands of someone who can hack the iris system. Of course, the Ice Snow Smart Yahina has already tried to determine the location of the opponent through the iris system and scan the cracker's face. But the other side is a master. The Zerg's ARC system has been completely invaded, even I can't help it, so, you can carefully investigate if there are any masters in Linjiang who can do this kind of thing. I wish you good luck. By the Fallen, Linjiang. There are not many people who can crack the ARC system here. But if you add the people who were on site in the Donghui city community at that time? Is that the most suspicious person? That night. The moonlight in June is bright and bright. In summer, cicadas keep ringing. The feeling of scorching heat has already hit my face. Yulin Mansion. It sounds like the name is very tall. It's actually a neighborhood. Jiang Bai lives here. The almighty Tongzi provided the funds and bought both sets. The room opposite the door. One is for living, and the other is for fitness. In the final analysis, the full level number is still out of practice. Dressed to look thin, undressed to look fleshy, just like Jiang Bai. After a sweaty workout, I took a shower and changed into clean clothes. Advertisement outside the door, there was a knock on the door. Hello, Dong Dong Express, please sign for it. Express delivery. Jiang Bai was taken aback for a moment. Why doesn't he remember that he bought the courier? After signing, take it back to the courier. Before he sat down, the phone rang. The caller was his desk mate in high school, a fat guy surnamed Lu, who had a good relationship. The phone connects. The depressed and excited voice of the little fat man came from the opposite side. Father. Have you signed for my courier? Jiang Bai. The first thing I said was foster father, if the truth is true, I won't be able to fix it for him. I looked at the small box, it was not too big, and the sound was muffled when I shook it. I said, what did you buy, boy, is it such a big courtesy when you come up? Also, why do you fill in my house for the delivery address? The voice of the little fat man on the opposite side suddenly became shy. Then what, adoptive father, this is a study material. Study materials. Jiang Bai showed doubts, why are you so light? In the middle of speaking, he suddenly stopped. The face suddenly became extremely strange. The study material you're talking about, is it serious? Hey. No answer, but the laughter said it all. Father, please keep it for me for a day, and give it to me after the exam tomorrow. Of course, if foster father wants to see it, he can watch it first. Let me tell you, these are the resources I finally found. The little fat man muttered endlessly. Jiang Bai hurriedly interrupted him, wait a minute, please explain why the address is my home first. Ah. The little fat man's enthusiasm was interrupted, but he still answered truthfully, isn't my parents often at home? I'm afraid that if they sign for it, it will be over. Reasonable explanation. Jiang Bai didn't mind doing a favor either. Of course, it was definitely not because he was interested in these serious learning materials. He just criticizes contemporary high school students. And at this moment, Suddenly there was another knock on the door. Is Jiang Bai here? Check the water meter, please open the door. Liar. Just came 2 days before checking the water meter. Etc. Then this is. Jiang Bai suddenly lowered his head, looking at the package in his hand. No, Lu Xiaopeng, are you breaking the law by buying this thing? Hey? I don't know. Jiang Bai. Pretty. Dragon Boat Festival reading big discount. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity time, June 22nd to June 24th, advertisement. Chapter 8. Linjiang Anhui Road. Under the night light, the accelerator pedal of the black car was pressed to the bottom. The speed continued to increase, like a black shadow passing by. It caused other drivers on the road to yell and curse. Driving so fast, I'm in a hurry to reincarnate. You idiot. This is an urban road, you are a famous autumn mountain. In the black car, Jiang Bai sat in the back row. His pretty face was full of innocence. On the opposite side, Zhang Xiu, who was driving, narrowed her eyes slightly. Looking at the face in the rearview mirror that makes people can't help but give birth to a love brain, he began to think. Is this a Zerg? Regarding the mimicry of the Zerg, the current Night Security Bureau has not found a way to deal with it. No way, that ability is too foul. Appearance, memory, personality are all perfectly copied. Even the people next to the pillow can't tell the truth from the fake. Take it to the branch first to find out? Or? Zhang Xiu thought about it, and chose to ask first. Maybe it's because of that face that gave him infinite favor. She didn't want this person, but under his face was a ferocious and disgusting Zerg. So he pursed his red lips and said, Xiaosu, give me the information. No answer. She turned her head in doubt. Only then did he realize that Yan Xiaosu was blushing and looking at the boy in front of him. Stupid college student intern, already can't wait to go up and lick his face. How can this boy grow up so good looking? Too foul. But the handsome boy will watch it at night. Looking at the evidence on the side, Yan Xiaosu couldn't help but blush. Noticing the change in her expression, Zhang Xiu's face was full of black lines. Yan Xiaosu. Ah! Sister Zhang. Startled by the sudden sound, Yan Xiaosu almost jumped up. Don't be an idiot, hurry up and give me the information. Zhang Xiu pouted angrily. What information? Yan Xiaosu seemed to have not recovered. Zhang Xiu was so embarrassed that she wanted to cover her face. His information. Oh, yes. Zhang. Sister Zhang. The girl can't wait to buckle it out with her toes and hide in it. What a shame. How can I be a nympho at a time like this? And the person in front of him might be a Zerg. Thinking of the appearance of the disgusting and ferocious Zerg, Yan Xiaosu's inner turmoil calmed down a little. Take a deep breath while handing over the information. Zhang Xiu flipped through it quickly. Advertisement information collected by Yan Xiaosu. All about boys who understand Jiang Bai in front of them. Very young, very handsome, no plastic surgery done. At the same time, he is excellent in all aspects, whether it is study or sports. Putting it in any school, it can be called the top of the list. Is it a Zerg? To be able to escape in that situation, there are only two possibilities. First, Zerg mimicry, taking advantage of the Zerg in the unfinished building to attract the attention of the mysterious strong man. Second, he is the mysterious strong man? Obviously, the second is impossible. Such a young man, how can he have such a strong strength? Zhang Xiu directly ignored the correct answer. Regret and pity flashed in his eyes. He was silent for a moment, put down the information and asked, Name. Jiang Bai. The gentleman's face was not red, and his heart was not beating. There is absolutely no shame and embarrassment of being caught. Gender. Zhang Xiu continued to ask in a deep voice. For such a simple question, Jiang Bai pondered for a while. Walmart shopping bag. Wrong. The national server shouldn't be updated so fast, right? That's still for men. Puff. Yan Xiaosu, who had just adjusted, almost burst out laughing. God X is a Walmart shopping bag. Do you think this is a beautiful dress? But Zhang Xiu glared at her, and the little girl quickly sat upright, holding back a smile. Be serious. Resisting the upturn of her mouth, the 24 or 5-year-old girl glanced at the serious study materials, and then said coldly, "Do you know what you did wrong? By the way, does the Zerg need to be glued?" When Jiang Bai heard the words, he suddenly became serious and replied very seriously, "Sorry, I don't understand what mistake I made. After all, I'm just an aspiring young man who wants to fly his ideals on the night of the college entrance examination." Zhang Shiyu. She was stunned, with question marks written all over her face. God TM releases ideal aspiring young people. You play glue and let your ideals fly. With a dark face, he brought over the study materials next to him, pointed hard and asked, "Then what is this?" "It's an ideal tool to let go on the night of the college entrance examination." Jiang Bai blushed without heartbeat, and blurted out the coquettish words. "Other people read books at night during the college entrance examination, you look at this thing? And let go of the ideal tool." Zhang Shiyu was dumbfounded, with a look of doubt about life. "They are just a group of mediocre people who are cramming, but I am an aspiring young man who is about to fly his ideals on the night of the college entrance examination." The corner of Jiang Bai's mouth twitched into a shallow smile, and he raised his head slightly. It seems to be facing the bright future of the future. Zhang Shiyu's face was even more bewildered, looking at the study materials on the table. The voice can't help but seem cute. "Would you like to listen carefully to what you are saying?" Jiang Bai tilted his head, "I know. I am an aspiring young man who is about to fly his ideals on the night of the college entrance examination. Do you want me to repeat it again?" Pfft. Advertisement can't help it. Yan Xiaoso couldn't bear it anymore. Why can the whole person have such a handsome face and say such nonsense in a serious manner? Gluing can be said to be an aspiring young man who releases his ideals. What a fairy! Of course, it's not the funniest. What Yan Xiaoso couldn't help the most was Zhang Shiyu's skeptical face. Damn, it's full of laughs. Zhang Shiyu is already stupid. He stared blankly at the person in front of him and the learning materials. Is something wrong with me, or something wrong with you? Why can you talk so seriously and madly that you don't even blush? This is too unlike a high school student. Etc. Seems wrong. The topic is off. What I want to test is the identity of the other party. How can I be entangled in the matter of glue? This guy. Zhang Shiyu suddenly realized something was wrong, and she was completely led away by the nose. Her face suddenly darkened. The beautiful face is full of chills. All of a sudden, Yan Xiaoso didn't dare to laugh anymore. I was so frightened that I couldn't help trembling slightly. Sister Zhang, so scary. And at this moment, Zhang Shiyu raised her head slowly, her pretty face was livid. The blood-stained monster mimicked the appearance of this child. Does it make you feel proud? She realizes where the pathetic is. This high school student named Jiang Bai is really outstanding. If he can grow up normally. Even if he is full of coquettish words, this mentality and ability alone are enough to have a bright future. But such a student was killed by the Zerg, and the mimic took its place. An inexplicable anger suddenly surged up. She wished she could become one now and crush the disgusting Zerg. But right now. Boom. Boom. Outside the car, there was a sudden harsh sound. Zhang Shiyu subconsciously took out the drive and became vigilant. And at this moment, suddenly the top of the car was penetrated. The car was actually split into two. Then a fly Zerg vibrated its wings and made a low humming sound and appeared. Meanwhile, around. About 20 or so larvae just appeared in all directions. They are surrounded. Dragon Boat Festival reading big discount. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity time, June 22nd to June 24th, advertisement. Chapter 9. Looking at the Zerg that surrounded them in all directions. Zhang Shiyu's pretty face changed slightly. His expression suddenly changed from angry to dignified. Zerg. Yan Xiaoso's face turned pale. Sister Zhang, why are there so many Zergs? Looking at the ferocious monsters coming slowly in all directions. Interns who haven't graduated from college, and even little girls who haven't seen monsters much are already terrified. The most important is, at present, there is only one knight, Zhang Shiyu. It doesn't look like the action of Donghui City community. At that time, the executive department gathered 5 knights as much as possible. But when the task is over, they go to perform their own other tasks. In addition, the time is urgent, in order to prevent the escaped Zerg from expanding its damage. Zhang Shiyu took her, and the two of them came. But now what we have to face is so many Zerg. Especially with a adult bug. The trouble with the Zerg is that, clock up. The ability to increase time is for knights who do not have acceleration. It's like a natural enemy. Unbuckle your seatbelt and get out of the car. Jiang Shiyu stretched out her hand to wrap her arm slightly, protecting Yan Xiaosu behind her. You go to contact the minister and find a place to hide. I got it. Yan Xiaosu came to his senses and quickly took out his special communication phone. The assistants trained by the data analysis department are usually instilled with the first idea. Stay away when the knights are fighting, don't be a drag is the first priority. So Yan Xiaosu retreated immediately, and at the same time prepared to contact the people in the Linjiang branch. At the same time, Jiang Shiyu put the lost driver on her waist. After putting on the black gloves, his sassy eyes exuded a chill. Joker. Trump card. Both a clown and an ace. Lost drive is different from double drive of Kamen Rider W. There is only one memory slot, and only one memory can be used to transform. When a burst of dark power enveloped, Kamen Rider Ace appeared. When Yan Xiaosu dialed the phone, he just pressed the communication button. Suddenly, the fly Zerg on the top of the head disappeared in a flash. Time up activation. In front of Yan Xiaosu appeared in an instant. Careful. Jiang Shiyu's reaction was already fast, but after all, she still couldn't keep up with the rising trend. He just pushed Yan Xiaosu away a little at the critical moment. Fortunately, the attack of the fly Zerg was avoided. But the phone that was just turned on just flew out. But the Zerg didn't seem to think so. Advertisement he even gave up attacking the trump card first, and appeared next to the mobile phone that fell on the ground. Crushed it with one kick. Seeing this scene, Jiang Shiyu's eyes changed slightly. The Zerg, not quite right. Hiss. Gathering their senses, the Zerg determined the phone had been destroyed. Then those ferocious, mesh-like pupils locked on Jiang Shiyu. Suddenly disappeared from her sight. Uptime. Start again. Behind. Jiang Shiyu turned around suddenly. But the reaction is still abnormal. Appears almost instantly. When she turned around suddenly, she was kicked on the shoulder. Haven't recovered yet. The Zerg took advantage of her loss of balance, powerless to fight back. Keep on attacking. Immediately, Yan Xiaosu's perspective saw that the ace's body was constantly being attacked. Sparks fly. Immediately, he couldn't stop backing up, and staggered to the ground. After rolling up a burst of dust, Jiang Shiyu half knelt on the ground. He looked very embarrassed. Ahem. Is this ascension? One's own strength cannot be used against opponents that cannot be caught. Continue like this. Failure is almost certain. And at this time, on Yan Xiaosu's side, the Zerg kept approaching. But the cute college students are still very strong. At this dangerous moment, although he was too scared, he covered his mouth and resolutely refused to make a sound for help. At least let Sister Jiang escape safely, she is the trump card of the Linjiang branch. Different from me. Even so. But when Jiang Shiyu saw it, she was destined to be unable to stand by and watch. Xiaosu, get out of the way. With a sudden leap, Ace's pitch-black fist gathered strength. The ability of the Ace memory is to endow the shapeshifter with powerful physical strength and fighting ability. It is the purest power. One punch is enough to explode a larva. But fly adults don't give a chance at all. The moment she got up, the ascending time was activated. Advertisement appear in front of you and give me a punch. But this Zerg seems to be too confident in its own power. Hiss. Suddenly a sharp voice came. I saw that sharp claw was bent directly. Then Ace's punch hit the face. In the next second, the body of the adult fly exploded from midair and hit the ground hard. Boom. That heavy voice seemed to shake the ground faintly. It shows the terrifying power of Ace. But strong is not necessarily the trump card. Although one blow almost killed the adult fly in seconds. But this does not change Yan Xiaosu's current crisis. The sharp claw swung out, and it seemed that the young college student would disappear in the next second. But at this moment, swish! The sudden piercing sound seemed to break through the sound barrier. The two thin cards are actually the bodies of two larvae attacking through them. Boom! Boom! The Zerg froze. Yan Xiaosu looked blankly. It seems that he has not recovered from the panic of being pulled back from the brink of death. And the Zerg in front suddenly exploded. A cyan flame burst out, and a force impacted on Yan Xiaosu's body. She was overturned directly. When I lost my balance in panic, I suddenly felt that I had hit something hard. Revealing clear stupid eyes lifted. Only then did I find out. No matter how you look at it, what catches your eyes is the face that can't control the love brain attack. But Jiang Bai is paying attention to Zhang Shiyu, who has the same surname, maybe the trump card of the family 500 years ago. The trump card is to simply increase the body. But with one punch, the power of the ultimate drive of memory has not yet been used. Almost dried out to adult insects. This power is really amazing. So it seems that this Kamen Rider transformer is not only beautiful, but also very good at fighting. Just this power, Jiang Bai couldn't help but think. The heroine Izumi Hina from Kamen Rider Ounce. There is a girl in my family who has just grown up, and she is as powerful as a mountain. The fierce woman who beat the Cotters with one punch. At the beginning, I was still thinking, what would happen if Izumi Hina got the driver and became a knight? Now I see a similar replica. And it's also the trump card of increasing the body. This Zerg, in a sense, it's pretty miserable. Dragon Boat Festival reading big discount. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity time, June 22nd to June 24th, advertisement. Chapter 10 Thunderfly. Give up everything in exchange for attack. Amazing explosion. Jiang Bai is looking at Zhang Shiyu. The latter also looked at him in surprise. You. Zhang Shiyu was full of doubts at the moment. She thought that the appearance of the Zerg was to save each other. But why he personally killed 2 larvae and saved Yan Xiaosu? Although through the trump card's mask, Jiang Bai could see her doubts. At this time, the Zerg in front saw their companions being killed, and immediately attacked. Jiang Bai turned around and kicked the 2 larvae away, then smiled slightly. You are a nice person, it's your apology for teasing you just now, let me save your life. He let go of Yan Xiaosu smoothly, and put the Emperor Qi driver on his waist with his backhand. The turning transformation card was inserted into the drive. Driver. You, who the hell are you? Zhang Shiyu's face was full of astonishment. Pushing the driver with one hand, the corners of Jiang Bai's mouth slightly raised. It's just a passing Kamen Rider. Kamen Ride decade. In an instant, the light curtain flickered, and flake plates were ejected to eject the approaching larvae. The 2 closest ones even exploded directly. Immediately, a magenta light emerged. Kamen Rider Emperor Rider. Debut now. The slender body came into view. Yan Xiaosu was taken aback for a moment, then subconsciously murmured, the pink, Kamen Rider, never seen it. In the data of the data analysis department, there has never been such a Kamen Rider. Be it color or shape. They are all strange knights. But suddenly, the pink knight in front turned around. Then he stretched out his hand, under Yan Xiaosu's frightened expression. Pinching her face, look carefully at me. It's magenta. Magenta. Remember it. After being released, Yan Xiaosu was still in a daze the whole time. No, your magenta looks no different from pink. What kind of magenta? And advertisement. Why would anyone care about such a thing? Yan Xiaosu couldn't figure it out. Zhang Shiyu couldn't figure it out. It's not a Zerg, but a knight. It's just pink, not gold. If it's a knight, it's understandable to be able to survive the Zerg. Think a little bit more clearly. But at this time, the adult fly in front has already climbed up. That crooning, buzzing sound echoed. It's just compared with the hideous and terrifying appearance just now. The current fly Zerg looked at Zhang Shiyu with extremely fearful eyes. Obviously, that punch just now caused a huge shadow in the young Zerg's heart. At this moment, I dare not be as hard steel as before. Decisively and directly choose to enter the state of ascension. Disappeared from the spot in an instant. Appearing again, it was Zhang Shiyu's back. The folded right arm was raised and swung out. The moment it was about to hit the trump card. Boom! Boom! Suddenly gunshots rang out. Sparks shot from behind the Zerg, hissing and turning its head. Suddenly, he found that the magenta knight was pointing his gun at him. You are my prey, don't look around. Larvae are plentiful, but worthless. Adult insects are the real valuable monsters, and only by killing them can you get more powerful control cards. Hiss. The fly Zerg paused for a second on both Jiang Bai and Zhang Shiyu, and then made a decisive choice. Time up activation. He chooses to run away. It would be a wise choice. The right arm was broken and completely useless. In this case, facing the siege of 2 nights, it is indeed a wise choice to choose to escape. Don't try to escape. Seeing this, Zhang Shuyu immediately wanted to stop her. But obviously, the ace is not clumsy, but it can't keep up with the rising Zerg at all. He jumped up and punched the air, but it had no effect at all. Hateful. Zhang Shuyu gritted her silver teeth helplessly. It's just that Jiang Bai won't let go of valuable weirdos. At a time like this, use this card. Slightly pondering, Jiang Bai drew out a control card. Advertisement Kamen Ride Drake. Masquerade Thunderfly. It was the Thunderfly that Jiang Bai had disliked before. The armor after the explosion of this thing is really too thin. Bullets with human traits can carry it away. But the positioning of shooters has been giving up defense in exchange for attacks since ancient times. Thunderfly's burst damage is also high. Facing the Zerg that is trying to escape now, this is undoubtedly the best way to attack. So instantly. Under the surprised expressions of Zhang Shuyu and Yan Xiaosu, it sounded like the low voice of the armor attached to the armor when the human transformed into Kamen Rider Thunderfly. Immediately, the new armor visible to the naked eye is integrated into the body. Kamen Rider Thunderfly is here. Just heard Jiang Bai talking to himself. When the two looked at the same time, they saw an extremely astonishing scene. This is Kamen Rider Thunderfly. I remember a knight belonging to the headquarters. Yan Xiaosu is in the data analysis department, mainly in charge of various data. The data analysis department and the intelligence department are basically inseparable. Therefore, she is very familiar with the situation of Zerg and knights. Zhang Shuyu was slightly taken aback. It turned into the appearance of other knights. Between doubts, I saw that Jiang Bai drew out a card again. Attack ride clock up. Attack control. Uptime. Suddenly, everything around seemed to come to a standstill. What stopped for a while? Entering the special acceleration field, Jiang Bai saw adult flies fleeing in the distance. The eyes were calm, and the final attack card was drawn again. Final attack ride DDD Drake. Final attack control. Thunderfly. The arms are raised, holding the muzzle of the blue gun. There was a surge of electricity all over the body, and the majestic power merged into the arm. When that high-pitched voice reverberated, amazing power condensed at the muzzle of the gun again. Next second, Jiang Bai aimed at the adult flies in the sky and pressed the trigger. Boom! Suddenly, an incomparably astonishing force pierced through the sky. The blue light beam seemed to break through the sound barrier, and the ear-piercing sound roared. Buzz! The adult flies in the sky, when they turned their heads, they saw the terrifying beam of light rushing straight towards them. A sharp hiss echoed. It seemed to be howling. In the end, it was swallowed by the beam. Explode directly. Dragon Boat Festival reading big discount. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity time, June 22nd to June 24th, advertisement. Chapter 11 You're coquettish and promiscuous, and you're still a fun guy. You're not the villain, who is? Yan Xiaosu looked at the sky. He raised his glasses involuntarily. A look of astonishment flashed across Jiao's face. Okay, so amazing. Not only can you become Kamen Rider Thunderfly, but you can even use the ability to transform into time. This is, what kind of Kamen Rider? In the knowledge she has learned, there is absolutely no similar Kamen Rider. Look at the whole country, even the whole world. I have never heard of such a Kamen Rider. Zhang Shuyu focused slightly, but the stone hanging in her heart was finally let go. Not particularly bad news. The two of them were not only saved, but I also met a knight with full potential. Judging by the papers, he got the drive by chance. Instead, it can be pulled into the Linjiang branch. This will help you deal with Zerg in the future. Zhang Shuyu was thinking about it. Suddenly the knight in front raised the muzzle of his gun. Zhang Shuyu felt cold. Immediately after seeing countless light bullets pouring out. That body, at this moment, took a step forward and kept pressing the trigger. Boom! 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 The gunfire echoed. Zhang Shuyu raised her arms almost subconsciously to cover her body. But the sound of explosions one after another came from behind. Puzzled vigilantly lowered his arms. Only then did he realize that the group of larvae behind him had all been wiped out. It turned out to be to kill the Zerg. This is just a relief. Then he saw the gun pointed at her suddenly. Don't move, Miss Ace. The twinkling compound eyes of Emperor Chi were staring at Ace's pitch-black body at this moment. Though I think you're a good man. But, as an apology for teasing you just now, I have already saved your life. Now, the situation is reversed, it's my turn to interrogate you. Sister Jiang. Yan Xiaosu's expression changed slightly. I thought the battle was over. Both she and Zhang Shiyu had the same idea. Pull the opponent into the Cavalier's Security Bureau. But why suddenly? Jiang Bai, calm down. There must be some misunderstanding between us. Advertisement. Sister Shu, you just regarded you as a Zerg, and didn't know that you were a knight. In a critical moment, the naive college student's little head turned quickly, and he quickly explained. It's just that Jiang Bai was unmoved. Turn a deaf ear to her words. After about 3 breaths, Fang suddenly asked, Name. Zhang Shiyu. After a slight pause, she still answered truthfully. S*X. Jiang Bai continued to ask. Zhang Shiyu lowered her eyes slightly. This guy, does he hold grudges so much? Forget it, I was caught when I was about to let myself go. It's okay to be a little angry. She tried her best to cooperate, female. Jiang Bai pondered for a moment, then continued to ask, where did you plan to take me? Time to test out the nature of the Cavalier Security Bureau. About this, Xiaosu, tell me. Zhang Shiyu felt that she was not good at talking. Or let someone who is good at it come. After all, it's about the organization, the people in the data analysis department and the intelligence department. They know better than a group of fighting madmen in their executive department. So Yan Xiaosu suppressed the worries in his heart and understood what Zhang Shiyu meant. Started from scratch about the Cavalier Security Bureau. Student Jiang Bai. You saw it just now, Zerg. They are a group of monsters who don't know when. There's always been an attempt to exterminate humanity. And besides the Zerg, there's a lot of monsters. There are a lot of monsters. If you leave them alone, this world will become their paradise sooner or later. So, Kamen Rider came into being. Human scientists created a Kamen Rider system to start a war with monsters. And our Night Security Bureau was established to deal with weirdos. We exist only to deal with monsters, not knights, so we are not the enemy. She also said a lot, mainly to make Jiang Bai stop attacking Zhang Shiyu's words. But at this moment, Jiang Bai's thoughts were surging, as if his mind was wandering away. The monsters appeared first, and then human scientists created a night system to start a war with the monsters? This is unexpected. However, the Cavalier Security Bureau was as I had guessed. It really is an organization that exists for weirdos. In other words, when I came to Donghui City community, I saw a group of mysterious people from the corner of my eye after killing the Zerg in seconds. They were them. Zhang Shiyu will also tell about the misunderstanding that Jiang Bai is a Zerg. From suspecting that Jiang Bai is a knight at the beginning, to confirming that he is not based on combat power and time. But as everyone knows, Jiang Bai just wanted to do an experiment. He wanted the 2 larvae to molt, so the first kill achievement reward might be better. After all, the novice monster is a larva, so no matter how you look at it, it feels too chilling. I didn't expect to dare to cause such a misunderstanding. But he doesn't care anymore. Advertisement. He has a fun personality and only likes fun things. Just like the system said, he is flamboyant enough, and he is the most suitable for Imperial riding. Therefore, the driver of the novice gift package will be the Imperial ride. Now, the corner of Jiang Bai's mouth turned up. It seems that there is indeed a misunderstanding. He puts away the gun. Zhang Shiyu directly cancelled the transformation to show her sincerity. Since you already know the situation of our night security department, then I'll invite you directly. Student Jiang Bai, join our night security department. You are a knight, and you are a very strong one. If you can join our night security department, you will definitely receive key training. Join an organization? Seems like a good choice. But alas, Jiang Bai prefers freedom. He just needs to be a passing Kamen Rider. Besides, he suddenly narrowed his eyes slightly, and asked meaningfully, whether you want to join you or not depends on your next answer. You came to arrest me, does anyone know? Zhang Shiyu was taken aback for a moment. Subconsciously replied, because of the urgency of time, this operation is only related to... In the middle of speaking, she suddenly stopped. Hey? You mean, yes. Her action is a temporary emergency decision, which is only reported to ministers and high-level officials. But why did the Zerg find themselves so, and either crushing the phone to prevent an emergency call, and targeting yourself? The things implied in it instantly made Jiang Shuyu's body tremble slightly. You mean... an undercover agent? Jiang Bai was non-committal. He remembered the Fallen in the Arc System chat group. The other party can understand the things made by the Linjiang branch, which are specially designed to deal with Zerg. I'm afraid, it's someone from the Night Security Bureau. Is there an undercover agent in a huge organization? This made Jiang Bai even less interested. He hates idle intrigue. If you have that time, why not watch some fun to pass the time? You guys should clean up your own interior first, and then invite others to join. No one wants to die at the hands of their own people, right? Jiang Bai clapped his hands and released the transformation. Dragon Boat Festival reading big discount. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity time, June 22nd to June 24th, advertisement. Chapter 12. Finally. Jiang Shuyu gave up. She is very concerned about undercover things. Only a few people know about the mission I am carrying out this time. Who would reveal his location? Besides that, there is one more thing. For what purpose did the Zerg attack itself? Although he is very strong, he is the main force of the Linjiang branch. But deliberately sending the Zerg to attack, I'm afraid it's not to solve the opponent. It is more likely that. Thinking of this, I have no intention of paying attention to other things. It's just that Jiang Bai left a phone call with each other. Then he retreated with Yan Xiaosu and Jiang Bai. In the ear is the sound of the system. The killing mode ends. Congratulations to the host for killing 22 larvae and 1 adult. Start to draw rewards. The draw is successful. Congratulations to the host for getting the Kamen Rider Silver Doe and Bronze Doe control cards. The rewards are average, and the combat effectiveness of these two knights is not particularly strong. But it's fine as a collectible. He still likes to collect all kinds of knight cards. The cards and various props in the cabinet in the previous life cost him a lot of money. However, the main control cards currently drawn are all from the Jiadu series. When will something new be coming? Host, kill Kamen Rider Ace, you can complete new achievements and get other knight control cards. Without warning, Tongzi popped up and spoke. Jiang Bai. Tongzi, why don't you talk in the tuba? Stop probing. The next day. A day of fighting is full of rewards. Jiang Bai watched the communication of the Arc system while eating breakfast. The group of weird people inside who don't know their specific identities are still communicating. Of Enoch, at. Zerg. Are you guys crazy? Plan to turn Linjiang into your new paradise. Why are they coming to the river continuously? Phantom, what's the situation? Don't Zerg like to be active in Kyoto? Dopant, have fun in the morning? Fight fast. Phantom, don't fight the fire. They won't do us any good. At Zerg, come out and explain, what exactly are you planning to do? What is the purpose of gathering so frantically in Linjiang? Orfinuo, you Zerg, don't go too far. Linjiang is our territory, BD. Magic Machine Puppet, Administrator Hey, good morning. Yahina is very happy to be so motivated so early. But, you don't need at Zerg, his arc system has been blocked by me. Advertisement Phantom, blocked. Magic Puppet, yes. His arc system was deciphered by a master, so I will upgrade the arc system in the next 2 days. Otherwise similar situations may occur in the future, and our secrets will be leaked. Okay, everyone, if you have something urgent to say, tell me as soon as possible. The arc system will be shut down at 12 o'clock noon for upgrades. Ask Yahina if you have any questions. Phantom, Dopant, or Finuo. Finish the well-prepared, nutritionally balanced breakfast. Jiang Bai was a little surprised. Linjiang, is the home of Orphe Enoch? This is really unexpected. But he hasn't seen this world yet, or Finuo. Is it because the Night Security Bureau suppressed them? Thinking of Jiang Shuyu's trump card, Jiang Bai felt that the possibility was very high. With the opponent's strength, Orphe Enoch is afraid that few can compete with him. She is probably about to come into contact with the true power of Ace. And besides that, there is one more news. The maker of the arc, the one called Magic Doll, was originally called Yahina. And have you noticed that the system has invaded the arc program? As for what Yahina said about shielding the Zerg, Jiang Bai didn't need to think about it. It's just a magic machine puppet, and of course it can't compare to the mighty power of the system. Otherwise, he might not be able to see anything now. Die laughing. Mere Humaja, you still want to touch my son? But speaking of it, it is already difficult to improve one's own body. The world seems to be a hodgepodge of all kinds of weirdos. That's a bit of a hassle. There are many monsters in the history of knights who have destroyed the world. You have to find a way to kill more monsters and get stronger knight control cards. He is more or less card controlled, and he also wants to experience the refreshing feeling of becoming Cronus and Black Hole E. But the weirdo hides too deeply, and hardly haunts it. Even if it does appear, it will be dealt with by the Cavalier Security Bureau in advance. Intelligence is a problem. The place where the big organization is good is the intelligence issue. Unfortunately, Jiang Bai only likes freedom and doesn't want to be a laborer. Looks like I'll have to figure it out. At this time, suddenly there was a knock on the door. Boom. Jiang, classmate Jiang Bai. It's me, Yan Xiaosu. Yesterday, you forgot to take something. Yan Xiaosu? Forget something? Oh, by the way, serious study materials. Advertisement. Jiang Bai suddenly realized. Open the door. Outside the door, today Yan Xiaosu is wearing a youthful floral dress, looking very beautiful. Stupid college students, except for being silly most of the time. It's still pretty if you look closely. It's just a bit rustic. Seeing Jiang Bai open the door, she blushed and handed over the repacked express box. Your study materials. Jiang Bai took it and looked at the other person's expression. After thinking about it, he coughed twice, and still couldn't help explaining, if I didn't buy this thing, I just signed for a friend, do you believe it? Yan Xiaosu raised his head, a little tangled, and finally nodded. I believe. Do you really believe it? Jiang Bai was suspicious. Yan Xiaosu still couldn't hold back, pursed her red lips, and smiled mischievously. Well, Jiang Bai, you look the same as when I blamed my roommate for something bad. And you are more like a friend out of thin air. Actually, it's normal for boys to look at this kind of thing when they reach a certain age. You don't have to be so embarrassed. Last night, Jiang Bai was killing all directions, and Yan Xiaosu was a little scared to meet him alone. But look at the way the other party even makes friends out of nothing. The college student suddenly remembered that although the other party was very powerful, he was actually just a high school student who hadn't graduated yet. This time, I wasn't so worried. On the contrary, there is a feeling that the senior sister comforts the handsome junior. Don't look at my clear and stupid eyes, but I'm actually a gentle and beautiful senior. Yan Xiaosu blinked his eyes and tried to persuade him seriously. Jiang Bai. Well, I can't explain it clearly. Helpless, he didn't bother to explain. When ready to end this topic, Yan Xiaosu suddenly asked curiously, Student Jiang Bai, speaking of it, when do you guys usually watch this stuff? Angrily took the delivery, Jiang Bai didn't answer, but asked instead, I heard that you girls watch this stuff earlier than boys. When do you usually start studying? Ah. Yan Xiaosu was taken aback by the anti-customer. He raised his glasses, a little shy. But when I thought about it, I was a senior, comforting my embarrassed junior. If you want to put on the appearance of a senior, you should be generous. I never look at men and women, I only like to see girls. Time, it's usually 11 or 12 o'clock in the morning. Jiang Bai. Dragon Boat Festival reading big discount. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity time, June 22 to June 24, advertisement. Chapter 13. A world destroyer who doesn't want to take pictures is not a good imperial ride. Linjiang. Fengshan Road. The heat was scorching hot, and the ground was tossed and emitted bursts of heat. Extremely hot weather. But Yan Xiaosu's heart is cold. The generous senior sister is a woolen yarn. Someone asked me how old I was, why should I reply what time I read it? It feels like my image has been ruined. I can't wait to dig a hole to bury myself. It's all the blame on that ST roommate. If she didn't send out pornographic pictures of girls with good figure every day, you won't be bored late at night. But girls, I like girls with beautiful bodies. No problem. Thinking of this, Yan Xiaosu forced himself to calm down a bit. But when I saw the half-smile of the boy next to me, he broke the defense in an instant, and turned his head away in embarrassment. Jiang Bai looked at it and wanted to laugh. This girl is really dumb. In line with the stereotype of college students in today's society, there is always a clear stupidity in his eyes. As for why he followed each other, because of coffee shop. In the quiet box on the second floor, Zhang Shiyu has been waiting for a long time. 24-5, a woman at the most beautiful age. Today, she was also wearing casual clothes, a tunic skirt, and high-cut boots, looking very mature and attractive. After Jiang Bai sat down, she said straightforwardly, "Who do you think the undercover agent of our night security bureau might be?" Jiang Bai was slightly taken aback when he heard this, and rolled his eyes. "You ask me, who do I ask? Apart from knowing that you are called the night security department, I don't know anything else." "Why, you couldn't find an undercover agent, so you came to ask me directly?" Zhang Shiyu was very straightforward. She nodded slightly. "I thought about it all night yesterday, and suddenly felt that everyone in the organization might be an undercover agent. No one could believe it. So I didn't tell them about the Zerg attack." Jiang Bai nodded, and suddenly asked curiously, "Since you think everyone can't believe it, why do you still call Yan Xiaosu? You have to know that she followed you all the way and knows your whereabouts best at this time." Yan Xiaosu, who was carrying 2 cups of coffee with the waiter, came over. "Put down the 2 ice cubes, then go over and close the door. Make sure no one is eavesdropping before coming over." Jiang Bai took a cup of coffee. She took a cup, and took a sip happily. But Zhang Shiyu, who didn't notice her boss, hadn't ordered coffee yet. "It's so hot. Sure enough, I want to drink iced Americano on this kind of day, it's so comfortable. It's alive." Squinting happily, forming a crescent-like cuteness. After a few seconds, Yan Xiaosu found Jiang Bai staring at her while drinking coffee. What's strange is that Zhang Shiyu also stared at her with weird eyes. Sister Zhang, why don't you drink coffee?" Advertisement. Zhang Shiyu. Jiang Bai. "Well, this natural stay is not questionable. With her brain, can she still be an undercover agent? If she is really asked to be an undercover agent, it might be difficult to tell which side has the most information revealed." Jiang Bai and Zhang Shiyu couldn't help but looked at each other and smiled, denying this guess at the same time. Yan Xiaosu hadn't reacted yet. "Student Jiang Bai, Sister Shiyu, what are you laughing at?" "Nothing." Zhang Shiyu rolled her eyes, as if she felt that she took care of the little assistant for so long. This heartless person doesn't know how to order an iced Americano for her. "Yan Xiaosu, give me a sip of your coffee." The more Zhang Shiyu thought about it, the more unhappy she became, and said angrily, "Here, Sister Shiyu, this is really super delicious. Freshman and sophomore, the night before the final exam, I just passed this fast overnight." Yan Xiaosu didn't seem to realize the seriousness of the problem, and frantically gave Zhang Shiyu amway. But in fact, it was thundering in her heart, dancing crazily. Together with Zhang Shiyu, they directly took a deep breath. She spoke happily, Yan Xiaosu with a smile on her face. The smile faded away. Just watching Bingmei disappear more than half of it in an instant, and he froze in place. The contented Zhang Shiyu turned her head and wiped the corners of her mouth. Seeing the heartless Yan Xiaosu's expression, he couldn't help laughing. Smiles don't disappear, they just shift. "Sister Zhang." Yan Xiaosu groaned, protecting her Bingmei with a resentful face. "Sideways like a baby." That subtle little expression seemed to speak again. "I won't believe you next time." What a mouthful. Almost finished my drink. Snort. Watching the interaction between the two, Jiang Bai couldn't help laughing. "You two, the relationship is very good. Xiaosu is a college student, and she came to our night security bureau for an internship for some reason. Being assigned as my assistant is a relationship of life and death, and it is a matter of course that it is very good." Zhang Shiyu dragged her chin, her eyes were a little disgusted and a little doting. And at this time, she seemed to hear something, and she suddenly became serious. "Okay, let's stop chatting. Jiang Bai, I will tell you more about the Cavalier Security Bureau now." Although these things are not considered confidential, everyone in the basic circle knows them all. Our Night Security Bureau can basically be divided into an executive department composed entirely of knights, an intelligence department and a data analysis department responsible for intelligence and data analysis, and a logistics department for logistics services. Intelligence and data analysis are almost one. The former collects intelligence, the latter analyzes and arranges plans. As for the logistics department, the main task is to evacuate innocent people, and ensure that the news of the weirdo and the knight will not be leaked, preventing mass panic. The current consensus is that the war between knights and monsters should be carried out in secret. Finally, the most important department of the Night Security Department, the Executive Department. Every member in it is a knight, strong or weak. Developing the plan is the job of the Data Analysis Department and the Intelligence Department, while the Execution Department has only one mission. Complete the mission at all costs and kill all the Zerg. And each department has its own combat uniform, which you saw last night. That's our uniform. However, there are obvious differences between the combat uniforms of different departments. Advertisement: these are the current situation of the organization. In addition, there is some information that cannot be disclosed to you. If you can join the Night Security Department, I can. Jiang Shiyu didn't seem to give up the idea of inviting her. But Jiang Bai waved his hand. I'm sorry, I like freedom, and I don't have the slightest interest in part-time jobs. Then what are you going to do in the future? Yan Xiaosu suddenly asked curiously. Jiang Bai, you are a high school student, and you missed the college entrance examination this year. Today is still the last day, then you just missed it all. Jiang Bai. Yan Xiaosu said so. Only then did Jiang Bai remember why he always had the feeling of forgetting something. Patronizing knights and weirdos. I forgot the college entrance examination. The college entrance examination is a fart. They have all become imperial knights, and there is a system, who still takes the college entrance examination. Jiang Bai waved his hand. Forget it, college is not interesting. If you miss it, you will miss it. When Yan Xiaosu heard this, he quickly said, don't. Jiang Bai. You haven't experienced college life, how do you know it's boring? Jiang Bai interrupted her. Forget it, I don't think college students are too smart, so forget it. As for college students, he doesn't know if they are living well or not. Who said that? How can there be an idiot who can be admitted to university? Yan Xiaosu expressed dissatisfaction and applied to play. Just as soon as the words came out, Jiang Shiyu and Jiang Bai looked at it with strange eyes at the same time. Then the former said slowly, it's my fault, I shouldn't have let you see Xiaosu. It seems to have caused a psychological shadow on you. But I didn't expect that college students are so stupid now. Jiang Bai shook his head. Yes, how did those clear and stupid eyes come into being? The two suddenly let out a long sigh together, as if lamenting the darkness of the future of society. Yan Xiaosu. She's just dumb, not dumb. Both of them are about to make it clear. How could she not understand? The weak, pitiful, and helpless Yan Xiaosu got up suddenly. He walked towards the side without love. Sorry, I'm a useless college student. There is no place for me here, I went to guard the door. At this time, Jiang Bai suddenly said, I have always had a dream. Dream. Yan Xiaosu stopped, showing a curious expression. After hesitating again and again, he sat down again. Jiang Bai just said it casually, but he didn't expect these two people to be interested. Just keep talking. Compared to what a good life in college. I would rather be a photographer, travel all over the mountains and rivers, and pass by all the interesting things in this world. A world destroyer who doesn't want to take pictures is not a good imperial ride. Yes, it is like that. The compatibility between Jiang Bai and Emperor Qi is very high in many aspects. Dragon Boat Festival reading big discount. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity time, June 22nd to June 24th, advertisement. Chapter 14. In a quiet room on the second floor. Photographer? So this is your dream, it sounds like a wonderful feeling. Yan Xiaosu seems to be able to imagine such a picture. A handsome man holding a camera and taking pictures of the beautiful scenes in the world. It does sound good, but it's not that simple to realize it. Now there are monsters all over the country. Jiang Shiyu expressed the opposite idea. If it's a peaceful world, you can realize such a dream. But in this world, I'm afraid that all you can record is the monster's paradise. Jiang Bai shrugged noncommittally when he heard the words, and didn't care. Perhaps, but the paradise of monsters may also be a good sight. What he wants is the strongest, freedom and fun. So it is impossible to join any organization. As soon as these words came out, Zhang Shiyu's expression changed slightly, and she fell silent for a while. Gently stroked the long hair that had been let go, back to the topic. People in the current organization are all suspects in my opinion, and I don't know who to trust. And because the enemy is a Zerg, Jiang Bai, can I call you that? Seeing Jiang Bai nodded, she continued, so. I need your strength. Compared to asking Jiang Bai's opinion on undercover. And invite him to join the Cavaliers' Security Bureau. This is the real purpose. At present, in the Linjiang branch, the only one who can deal with the Zerg is Jiang Bai. Yan Xiaosu's eyes changed when he heard it. Sister Jiang, you don't trust other people at the top. Is this what I can hear? I should avoid it. I wanted to say something several times, but in the end I held back, but still didn't say it. Just look at Jiang Bai. The latter rolled his eyes. From the moment I sat down, you asked me undercover questions. Now you want me to help you, and you don't even mention what you can give me in return. Xiao Zhang, what do you think of me? Xiao Zhang. This sudden address directly confused Zhang Shiyu. The head of the executive department, Yan Daosheng, is in his 40s, so he has no problem calling himself that. But this high school student, why did he call himself that? The pretty face was suddenly covered with black lines, and she was just about to ask what kind of messy address it was. But suddenly his expression changed slightly, and he forcibly held back. Then he hesitated to speak with an embarrassing expression on his face. It's, that day. Jiang Bai. He narrowed his eyes slightly, forming a crescent moon in joy. You're saying it again, but I didn't hear you clearly. God, genius. Master everything, the strongest genius knight. Zhang Shiyu gritted her teeth and said it with her eyes closed. Yan Xiaosu, who was sitting next to her, was stunned. Miss Zhang? So you are such Miss Shu? What about your integrity? No. Is this method reliable? For Jiang Bai, who is full of coquettish words and jumps off the hook, it probably won't work at all. But tisk advertisement for the sake of Xiao Zhang being a good person, I will help you one more time. If you have any clues, you can contact me, and I can help you deal with the adults. Jiang Bai sipped his coffee and said suddenly with a serious face. Yan Xiaosu. That's it. No, student Jiang Bai, are you so easy to talk to? She suddenly felt out of place. Jiang Bai and Zhang Shiyu, the conversation between the two families from 500 years ago. She didn't even have a chance to interrupt at all. Zhang Shiyu breathed a sigh of relief. Seeing that Jiang Bai agreed, he suddenly had doubts on his face. Wait, did you call me Xiao Zhang again just now? Even if I'm a good person. At your age, you can't call me Xiao Zhang. I should call you that, Jiang Bai. Jiang Bai drank the iced Americano in one gulp and got up. Under Zhang Shiyu's puzzled expression, she walked towards the door and said, Is it possible that small does not describe age, but size? He glanced somewhere pointedly. When Yan Xiaosu, who was drinking iced Americano, heard this, he suddenly thought of something. Unable to bear it any longer, he squirted it out in one gulp. Puff. Zhang Shiyu made a question mark. With a puzzled look on his face, he slowly lowered his head. Look at the evidence of yourself as a Princess Taiping. And the look in Jiang Bai's eyes before closing the door. Jiang Bai, shop door. Yan Xiaosu and Zhang Shiyu parted ways. That little. Sister Shiyu, I'm leaving first. Almost yelling a certain taboo word, Yan Xiaosu quickly jumped back and forth from the edge of death. He quickly changed his words and ran away. Zhang Shiyu's face was full of black lines, and she was very angry. 24, she is a mature woman, she is not as big as Yan Xiaosu, wrong. What's the use of that thing being too big? Totally cumbersome. She is the best. When fighting, you will not be dragged down at all. That's right, that's it. And at this moment, a sizzling sound suddenly came from the headset covered by the long hair. Zhang Shiyu straightened her face. I looked around and found a place where no one was around, and then asked in a low voice, What do you think? As soon as the words fell, a gentle voice came from the headset. From the performance of the first contact. He is very confident, has a more out-of-the-way personality, and likes to tease others and say some nasty things in your mouth. There are generally two types of people. First, he is a frog in a well with a bad personality who likes to play tricks on others. Second, strong. Very strong. Some people will show a very detached character when they are strong enough to a certain level. But that's because they are so strong that they don't even need to hide themselves. No matter what, you just need to face it in the way you are most happy with. That's why it usually appears to be jumping off. Advertisement. If you look at last night's battle, you have the power to transform into other Kamen Riders. And its own strength is very strong, it can easily kill larvae. He should belong to the second type. Hearing the gentle voice, Jiang Bai frowned beautifully. Maybe it's the first type. After all, the power of the Zerg is not very strong. If it wasn't for the time upgrade, I can easily deal with the Zerg by myself. If we really want to fight, he may not even be my opponent. On the opposite side of the headset, the gentle voice groaned for a moment, and then sounded again. But sister, you overlooked a problem. He can transform into other knights through cards, how do you know? Does he have other stronger cards? Besides, do you know where his knight drive came from? The currently known drives are all made by scientists. It is impossible for them to be lost and accidentally picked up by others. Besides, what you described, his drive, is completely absent from the organization's data. Jiang Bai was silent. The gentle voice continued, and added, besides, there is another point. If his ability is to transform into other knights, then the incident of the unfinished building in Donghui City that you mentioned, sister, may not have been done by him. Hey? Isn't he the Pink Knight? What I saw was... Jiang Bai suddenly paused. Suddenly realized that this is not impossible. I seem to have overlooked a key point. The gentle voice of the headset smiled lightly, that's right, maybe that's his transformation, whether it's time or the power he possesses, it's possible to kill more than 100 Zergs in an instant. Jiang Bai was silent for a long time, and asked slowly, then you mean? Believe in him, maybe he can give us some kind of surprise. Such a mysterious person, will always have something special. Interesting, meet me, and use the headset to communicate. Tongzi, who do you think the opposite party will be? On the ground exuding scorching heat, Jiang Bai walked slowly. Asked casually. Of course he noticed Jiang Bai's movements and subtle unnatural expressions. The system did not answer this question. Maybe it's because Jiang Bai didn't care at all. He agreed, maybe a third of Jiang Bai wanted to cry when he saw Jiang Bai, but he had to change his way of bragging about him. But more is. In this way, he can use the information from the Night Security Bureau to kill monsters and get more driving cards. For Jiang Bai, it complements what is currently lacking. Stretching, he walked on the road. He took out his mobile phone and drove the students who were taking the college entrance examination out of school on the hot road. Either accepting interviews happily, or sharing questions with family members, or confronting classmates with answers, or, sad and crying appearances are all photographed. This is youth, a scene worth recording. After taking the picture, he lifted the phone up. Youthful photos. At this moment, it is extremely distorted. Light, air, space, world. Everything seems to be very uncoordinated and distorted. The photos are so weird. Jiang Bai looked at it and curled his lips. Are you still rejecting me? I won't really destroy you, what are you afraid of? Dragon Boat Festival reading big discount. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity time, June 22nd to June 24th, advertisement. Chapter 15. Linjiang. Anyang District. This is a more suburban area. Because of the location, it is mainly an abandoned factory. Overgrown weeds spread all over the place. With no one to clean it up, the dense vegetation kept multiplying almost out of control. The black car stopped. A group of people in trench coats came down. The people around have been cleaned up, and the rest is up to you. Executive Minister Yan Daosheng issued an order. It was not Jiang Bai who accepted the order. This time, the leader of the team was a tall man, about 1.9 meters tall. His name is Lin Dongyu. Kamen Rider Agito. He is the strongest knight in Linjiang District. The strongest of the previous generation, Yan Daosheng is already old. So now he is the strongest in Linjiang district. However, Lin Dongyu had a conspicuous scar on his left cheek, making his face very rough and dangerous. At this moment, he couldn't help showing suspicion and worry. Xiaozhang, are you sure the person you are looking for is reliable? Task performed this time. It was the same as Donghui City 3 days ago. The goal is to evacuate the nearby population, seal off the Zerg-infested factories, and reduce losses. But Zhang Shuyu proposed. She knows a Kamen Rider who can deal with Zerg with the ability to speed up. You can help out with adult worms. After repeated confirmation by the Data Analysis Department and the Intelligence Department, the blockade plan was revised and changed to the Zerg extermination plan. Lin Dongyu's assistant, a person from the Data Analysis Department said, according to the Ministry of Intelligence. In Anyang District, the Guangyuan chemical factory was confirmed to be occupied by Zerg not long ago. The Ministry of Intelligence estimates that the number of Zerg is close to 3 digits, and only 1 adult has been confirmed so far. Miss Zhang, if the helper you have found is sure to be able to restrain adult worms, our plan will succeed. But, if he can't, we're in trouble. Of course, it's not that I don't believe you, it's just that, foreign knights, although they have their own customs, are still unbelievable. In fact, it wasn't just a little assistant who didn't believe it. Lin Dongyu was also a little skeptical, otherwise he wouldn't have asked that question just now. And more than that. Inside the Linjiang branch, Yan Daosheng, Fang Xianwen and Xia Yiming in the conference room all looked stern. Fang Xianwen, who was sitting on the left, looked suspiciously at Yan Daosheng, who was sitting in the seat. Can it work? There are indeed some knights who do not belong to our night security department, but their identities are special. Now the person Zhang Shuyu recruited really has the ability to deal with acceleration. Besides, even if he really has it, can he really believe it? Xia Yiming touched the non-existent hair. Indeed, the helper who suddenly appeared at this moment, no matter how you think about it, it makes people suspicious. If it wasn't for the person brought by Zhang Shuyu, my personal suggestion is to control it first. Yan Daosheng was silent for a while. There is no better choice for us, let's try. Besides, Zhang Shuyu should be sure about the safety of the other party, otherwise she wouldn't have made such a proposal. Until the support from the headquarters comes, we can't just do nothing. The other 2 ministers were silent. Their duty is to be suspicious. Especially at this crucial moment. There must be no mistakes until that thing is finished. It is only natural to be cautious. Advertisement. It's just that Yan Daosheng from the executive department has to think more. Leaving the Zerg alone is too much a sacrifice. Besides, the frequency of Zerg bugs in Linjiang district is too high now. I'm afraid they really know the existence of that thing. In order to prevent accidents, we must clean up the Zerg. Otherwise, if all the Zergs gather in Linjiang district, no one will be able to save them. The number of knights is far less than that of Zerg. Guangyuan Chemical Factory. On the surface, there is nothing strange about it. A group of laborers in overalls stared at the scorching heat at work. The sweat kept falling, and before it became wet, it was evaporated by the sun. It seems to be full of hard labor, but I don't know. All Zerg. Facing the worries and doubts of the crowd, Yan Xiaosou opened his mouth, as if he wanted to say something like Jiang Bai is super strong. But Zhang Shuyu just put on the gloves leisurely. Just look at it. According to the agreed time, he should be here soon. All right. Lin Dongyu couldn't say much, and chose to believe. But at this moment, there was a sudden change in Guangyuan Chemical Factory. Immediately, workers disguised as coolies were working at the door. Suddenly, coincidentally, the whole body swelled and turned into a monster's posture. Just like this, he left without warning and moved towards the surroundings. Meanwhile, in the factory, a steady stream of Zergs appeared and were about to leave in all directions. Captain, the Zerg is about to escape. A subordinate of the executive department changed his expression slightly, and hurriedly said. Lin Dongyu looked solemn. I can't wait anymore, stop the Zerg. I'll deal with the adults, and leave the rest to you. There are always very few people in the executive department. Especially most of them still have tasks. This also leads to, most of the time, it is less to more. This time, in order to ensure the elimination of the Zerg, 5 knights were squeezed out just now. Except for Lin Dongyu's Kamen Rider Yajichuo and Zhang Shuyu's Kamen Rider Ace. The remaining 3 men are Kamen Rider Sumage, Kamen Rider Damon's Cavalry, and Kamen Rider Abaddon. Black Shadow, from Kamen Rider Gamu, can be called a mass-produced knight. Demon's Cavalry, from Kamen Rider Reeves. It is a knight created by using the mass-produced Daemon's driver, and its strength is far weaker than that of the genuine Daemons. Abaddon, from the mass-produced knight in Kamen Rider 01 theatrical version. Transform with swarm locusts by slashing the Abaddon sublimator. Then, Lin Dongyu took a step forward, and the flashing lights around his waist appeared in vain. Under the scorching heat, Yajichuo's iconic high beams kept flickering. When a burst of shining light blooms, the knight named Yagito appears. At the same time, Zhang Shiyu transformed into an ace. Moment. The battle begins. The knights of the executive department, although the number is small. But even if you use mass-produced miscellaneous type drivers, they are still very strong. At least in terms of dealing with larvae, it is very reliable. And Zhang Shiyu, it's even more like a god descending from the mortal world. As she said, if it wasn't for the Zerg's ascension advertisement, she can wipe all the Zerg here by herself. One punch, one kick. Destroy and kill the Zerg bugs in pieces. That Showa style of play is fully revealed. And Lin Dongyu sighed. The adults appeared, this time it was the whipless Zerg. The ferocious adult of itself, the moment it appears, is transformed into a rising time. Attack Lin Dongyu very suddenly. For a time, the battle was extremely fierce. The people in the data analysis department and the logistics department can only protect themselves. Don't be a drag in this situation. Just when Yajichuo was given a headache by the promotion, but he could hold on. Sudden. An urgent voice came from the headset. Lin Dongyu, be careful behind you. The propagation of sound takes time after all. When Lin Dongyu heard it. Stab it. The sharp claw slid across the back, and the sparkling golden body flew backwards. Then, another adult whipless scorpion appears. 2. All the knights present were shocked. Unbelievable. Retreat. All retreat. Without the slightest hesitation, Lin Dongyu shouted while sustaining the pain. But it's not so easy to get out of the Zerg with the ascension time. As soon as he moved, he was blocked by a group of larvae. Can't get out. And most importantly, those two adults. Hiss. Hiss. The sharp voice came. The whipless scorpion looked around as if looking for prey. Finally, ferocious eyes fell on Zhang Shiyu at the same time. It's coming again. Zhang Shiyu's eyes narrowed. Instantly. Two adults attacked at the same time. Time up starts. The naked eye can't catch it. Just for a moment, as if chills suddenly appeared. But at this moment. Attack ride blast. Attack control. Burst. Strengthen the shooting card. The cartridge gun suddenly seemed to have countless muzzles. Then a large amount of energy bombs were released, pouring in front of Zhang Shiyu. Boom. Boom. The power is raging out. The bodies of the two insects were immediately affected, and the air waves hit the bodies and flew out backwards. Tread. I saved your life again, Xiao Zhang, are you very touched? In the ear, that very playful voice came. Dragon Boat Festival reading big discount. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity time, June 22nd to June 24th, advertisement. Chapter 16. Xiao Zhang, are you very touched? Jiang Bai squinted and smiled, standing beside Zhang Shiyu. I've said it all, don't call me Xiao Zhang. Zhang Shiyu's face was full of dark lines. This person is good anywhere. It's just that his personality is too bad and too detached. Also, you came too late. Really? Jiang Bai unhurriedly took out his phone and glanced at it. It happened to be the appointed time, but I came 2 minutes earlier although there was an accident here. But the protagonist always appears at a critical moment. Looking at the messy scene, Jiang Bai took a picture. Really nice view. The War of Knights and Monsters. Zhang Shiyu suddenly stared at his phone and thought for a while. Then he raised his head and looked at the two whipless scorpions in front of him. Be careful. It's nothing more than two adult insects. Jiang Bai put away his phone. His sudden appearance. It immediately attracted everyone's attention. Lin Dongyu blasted the larva with one punch. Then noticed the Pink Knight. Hey? The Pink Knight? Is this support? Strange, this knight, why isn't it in the organization's database? It's still a rare pink knight. Can this solve the adults? The knights present, as well as the logistics personnel in the car who were ready to drive over to pick up the retreating knights at any time, became puzzled. Don't talk about them. Several ministers in the meeting room have already looked at each other with strange expressions. Who is this knight? Has the organization recorded it? Yan Daosheng didn't have any impression, and looked at Fang Xianwen. As the head of the data analysis department, he knows all kinds of information best. But now he just stared blankly. The meaning is obvious. He does not know. Xia Yiming from the intelligence department leaned slightly on the chair. Pink, Kamen Rider. His eyes flickered, and suddenly landed on Jiang Bai, and now on Zhang Shiyu. Hiss. The two whipless scorpions continuously neighed sharply. It seems to be intimidating the opponent. Advertisement. Jiang Bai was unmoved, he was thinking. What is the best way to deal with these two adults? Oh. By the way, there is a full level number that I haven't used yet. Then. The decision is yours. Sun God. Show off your way of walking in the sky and control all your powers. With a smile on the corner of his mouth, Jiang Bai pulled out the Jiadu control card. Let's use this to deal with you, this should be your honor. Wouldn't it be an honor to let Jiang Bai try the power of the Sun God? Kamen Ride Kabuto. Masquerade. Jiadu, this moment. Suddenly, a fiery red light bloomed. Then, the voice of Jiadu transforming came. The Sun God's armor is attached to the body. When the unicorn appeared, the knight named Jiadu appears at this moment. Emperor rides. The most miraculous ability is also revealed at this moment. Everyone was extremely curious about the support that Zhang Shiyu had found. At this moment, he was stunned. Some even rubbed their eyes. Really, how did you become a Jiadu? No, wasn't it the pink knight just now? Why did it become a battle? Brothers, am I dazzled? It's impossible. It doesn't make sense. How can a knight play like this? They don't know Emperor Qi. But Jiadu, the knight with the most brilliant record in killing Zerg in Kyoto, they understand. A sudden change of shape, and it still changed from one knight to another. Directly let the data analysis department, who claims to know the knight very well, directly fry the pot. They know that knights usually have other forms. But UTM have changed to a knight. This is unreasonable. No matter from any angle, it is totally unreasonable. Feeling the surprise and shock of everyone, Zhang Shiyu just wanted to laugh. Doubt the foreign aid I found? Now you can experience my surprise at that time. But Jiang Bai, you can still transform into an armored fighter. The flat-chested big sister gradually understood the idea of the genius sister. Perhaps, as the other party said, Jiang Bai was too strong. So strong, there is no need to hide your emotions at all. Advertisement. Just show yourself in the most enjoyable way. After all, no one knows what other cards he will pull out at a certain moment. Jiang Bai saw everyone's astonishment. He understands. The first time he saw Emperor Qi, he also thought it was outrageous. How can there be such outrageous? You can also transform into other knights. But now, he just said. So cool. It's really worthy of being an emperor's cavalry. Whether it is the most handsome is not important. Enough flamboyant, enough waves, just right taste. Hiss. Hiss. Two adult whipless scorpions. It seems that he is also very puzzled by the operation of the imperial cavalry suddenly becoming a Jiadu. But soon, they directly entered the ascension. After all, the task given by their leader was to kill that person. The ferocious body disappeared from the spot. Straight to Jiang Bai. No, it was Zhang Shiyu who left. Attack ride, clock up. Attack control. Up time. Immediately. The time around him once again entered a state of stagnation. The neighing of insects, the screeching of cicadas in the scorching heat, the salsa of leaves, the noise of wind. All stagnated in an instant. Jiang Bai suddenly stretched out his hand. Where are you guys going? Stretching his arms back, he easily grabbed two adult whipless scorpions. Immediately with a slight force, the two adult insects were thrown flying out while neighing. Boom! Boom! The Zerg fell to the ground at the same time, but immediately got up and attacked again. It seems to realize that the task cannot be completed without solving the obstacle in front of it. Jiang Bai snorted calmly, and then saw a sharp red dagger emerging from his hand. Kunao dagger. Armored weapons. When two mature waving sharp claws strike. This battle is accelerating. It started. Dragon Boat Festival reading big discount. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity time, June 22nd to June 24th, advertisement. Chapter 17. The first whipless Zerg to appear. First appeared in front of Jiang Bai. The sharp claws pierced out, which can directly penetrate the armor of some knights. Especially Thunderfly, I am afraid that if he is not careful, he will be disemboweled. Just opponent it is the Sun God. Even if Jiang Bai turns into a knight form directly. Kamen Rider of the Kato series. Except for the 3 buckets of gold, silver, and copper, and the 2 locusts from hell. The others all have masked form and knight form. The former are bulky, but immensely powerful and defensive. The latter liberates the bloated armor and at the same time can activate the time scaling. But at the same time, it also lost the corresponding defense. Except for the amazing defense of God of War Steel Do, the other knights are all crispy types. But as long as it doesn't get attacked, it doesn't matter if it's crispy. When the sharp claws of the whipless scorpion approached in front of him, Jiang Bai unhurriedly raised the kunao dagger. Bang! The dagger and sharp claw collided, and dazzling sparks shot out. Jiang Bai pushed hard horizontally, forcing the Zerg's attack back. Immediately afterwards, the fiery red dagger was raised quickly. Under the scorching sun, it exudes a dangerous atmosphere. Stab it! Stab it! A cold light flashed by, and sparks shot out. The Zerg flew upside down. Hiss! But then, another whipless scorpion has come to the side. The sharp claws swung out at the same time. Without looking back, Jiang Bai kicked out with a counter-attacking kick. It hit the Zerg's chest and forcibly interrupted his attack. Then he reached out and grabbed the Zerg's sharp claws. Kuwu's dagger quickly cut out. Swish! Swish! The Zerg was severely injured, and could not help but make an extremely sharp hissing sound. Boom! It was another kick, and it hit the chest of the Zerg with great force. Ugly and hideous monsters fly out. It just hit the body of another Zerg and flew out at the same time. Ascension is over. The Zerg who had been hit hard appeared in Zhang Shiyu and Lin Dongyu's sight. In the sight of several people. The situation just now was probably the same. Suddenly there was a muffled sound in the air. It sounded like the air vibrating. Then I saw 2 Zergs fall to the ground in a very embarrassing situation. And ahead, the slender body stood in place. If you look closely, you can even find the flaming red body of the unicorn didn't even move much from the beginning to the end. It was so easy to defeat the 2 Zergs. So strong. This foreign aid is very strong. Great, in this way, the Zerg can be cleaned up. We finally have a means to deal with Zerg. Everyone couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. And the conference room of the Night Security Department. Several ministers could not help but breathe a sigh of relief. Yan Daosheng used the communication to issue an order. Lin Dongyu, cooperate with this knight to wipe out all the insects. Yes. Advertisement. In fact, there is no need for Yan Daosheng to order. Lin Dongyu also found an opportunity to eliminate the Zerg. Clean up the larvae. Just hand over the adults to foreign aid. This time, wipe out all the Zerg. Several knights cheered up immediately. Fighting with the few remaining larvae in high spirits. And at this moment, 2 adult whipless scorpions crawled up from the ground screaming. Looking at each other, they entered the time up again at the same time. Not to run away, but to continue fighting. He rushed over in an instant. Looking at them, Jiang Bai slowly pulled out a control card. As he counted the cards with his fingers, a calm voice sounded slowly. Is the trapped beast still fighting? Then, solve you all at once. Final attack ride KKK Kabuto, final attack ride. Jiadu. Suddenly, a burst of electric arc flickered continuously. Then, the power of thunder and lightning quickly gathered and contained it. But at this moment, the 2 whipless scorpions are not stupid. No frontal attack, but pulled behind, trying to sneak attack. Pity. The round kick buff is automatically stacked. The flaming knight suddenly turned around. The foot facing the sun draws a perfect arc. Then the astonishing power of the current converging is blasted out. Roundhouse kick. Boom. The two Zergs were instantly kicked head-on by a roundabout kick. Boom! The next second, the sound of an explosion sounded. The fire suddenly surged up. In that strange purple flame. That one-horned body. Suddenly, he stretched out his fingers slowly. With his back to the sun, he pointed at the sky with a proud gesture. At that moment, the feeling of pretense came. Clean up the larvae. Lin Dongguo glanced around at the situation of the other knights. They are all about the same, although there are a lot of Zerg. But the combat power of the larvae is very average, so it is not difficult to deal with them. It's always the adult bugs that really make them tricky. So the adults over there. When Lin Dongguo and a group of knights came to watch at the same time. That is to see. That one-handed figure. The sun's radiance was scorching and shining, reflecting on the fiery red body. Like the incarnation of the sun. Just like its title, the sun god is like it. This is Kamen Rider Kato. Lin Dongguo was stunned for a moment, and suddenly he whispered to Zhang Shiyu, "Where did you find this foreign aid? So strong, and so good at acting." Zhang Shiyu smiled, just looking at that figure. There is a smile in his eyes. Is this in line with his age? Secondary school boy who likes to pretend only. Being so strong, he does have the capital to wantonly show his emotions. The battle is over and the Zerg are cleared. The sound of the system also came from Jiang Bai's ear. The killing mode is over. The host killed 12 larvae and 2 adults. Advertisement start drawing cards. The host's will is detected, and the killing can be superimposed. Does the host superimpose? Superposition. Jiang Bai wondered. Save the result of this killing, and superimpose it with the subsequent results, you can get a stronger knight control card. The system answers. Tongzi, why didn't you say that there is still this way? If I knew it could still be like this, Jiang Bai's interest in silver and copper buckets would not be so great. This is a new adjustment made according to the wishes of the host, just running. Then you're pretty smart. Stack it. After all, if you don't superimpose, you don't need to think about it. The next ones will definitely be some good ones, but not very useful for Jiang Bai at present. Jiadu's series of night cards. Then definitely choose superposition. The killing continues, the host is asked to kill monsters and knights as much as possible, get the knight control card, and become the strongest knight. Saying this, the system goes offline. Jiang Bai's body. A phantom light flickered. Immediately, he changed from Jiadu back to the Emperor's cavalry. At this time, Lin Dongguo took out a card and walked over. This is your reward. He thought about it, and suddenly found out. I don't seem to know the knight yet. I don't even know the name. As for remuneration. Of course, as a reward for helping kill the Zerg. Of course, Zhang Shiyu would not let Jiang Bai, who lived in the family 500 years ago, work in vain. After all, he is still a high school student, so he should need money. So when she communicated with the higher UPS, she made it clear that Jiang Bai would be paid for his help. As for several ministers, of course they are so happy. Money is not important, the key is that he can kill adults. Pay some money, just pay some money, don't care at all. Jiang Bai's move is mainly for the knight to control the card, but since he has money, he also readily accepted it. Zhang Shiyu introduced from the side. This is Lin Dongguo, Kamen Rider Yajichuo, our strongest knight in Linjiang. Ajichuo. Jiang Bai touched slightly when he heard the words. Emperor Cavalry. Talking about it with Yajichuo is somewhat grievous. After all, when Wang Xiaoming traveled to the world of Yajichuo, Yajichuo once stripped off the driver, and was almost killed by Mrs. Heidong. After that, Minyashi loved to use Yajichuo when he did bad things. He has the title of Ajichuo who has done all the bad things. This is Kamen Rider, Deeked. Zhang Shiyu thought about it and introduced it like this. Or, you can call me Emperor Qi. Jiang Bai said suddenly. Emperor, Emperor Cavalry. Lin Dongguo froze for a moment. The name. How could anyone dare to take it? It's really too arrogant. Immediately, the expressions of several people present became subtle. But Jiang Bai turned a blind eye and turned around to save him. The serious translation of Deeked is 10 years, implying the 10th anniversary of Heisei. But 10 years of Kamen Rider is too ugly. So. Emperor Ride. His commander is the strongest knight system. He is going to be the king of knights. The strongest knight. Dragon Boat Festival reading big discount. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity time, June 22 to June 24, advertisement. Chapter 18. Self-made kebab restaurant. Xiao Zhang, bring me some pork belly, thank you. Zhang Shiyu got up, ready to go to the optional meat section to get some barbecue. The boy who took over the jump just shouted very consciously. You really treat me like a servant. Also, don't call me Xiao Zhang, hey. She turned her head angrily, but she said so, but actually took a portion of pork belly honestly. Putting it on a charcoal fire that exudes heat, the aroma is tangy and the smell of meat permeates. Jiang Bai, Sister Shiyu. Hurry up, I'm so hungry. Holding the fork, Yan Xiaosu stared at the meat with shining eyes, almost drooling. Don't ask why she just sits, because no barbecue at all. A cute college student who only knows how to eat, it would be hard for her to ask her to barbecue. Of course, Yan Xiaosu volunteered to grill a skewer of pork belly 10 minutes ago, and the result was, burnt. There is also a piece of spicy beef, not cooked. After taking a sip, Jiang Bai immediately vomited. Seeing Jiang Bai spit out with a black face, Zhang Shiyu patted Yan Xiaosu's hand, Xiaosu, put down the tongs, let me bake. I want to see how difficult it is. She rolled up her sleeves, full of energy. Only. Strange, why is this leek roasted so black? Jiang Bai looked at the black thing caught by her, the corner of his mouth twitched, and asked abruptly, have you drained the oil? Oil? Do you want to drain the oil? Jiang Bai. Emotional, you two don't know how to barbecue at all. Aren't you barbecue killers? Call me here, are you planning to murder me? With a dark face, he looked at them warily. This, mainly because I didn't expect to bake it myself here. Zhang Shiyu smiled sarcastically, her face full of embarrassment. Yan Xiaosu blinked her glasses, I thought Sister Zhang would. The corner of Jiang Bai's mouth twitched. Why do you have such an idea? He looked at Zhang Shiyu. Although the latter is a mature big sister. But whether she is a princess Taiping or a heroic knight, she doesn't look like a virtuous wife. She doesn't look like she can barbecue. As if sensing the disgust in Jiang Bai's eyes, Xiao Zhang immediately turned dark, don't look at me so disgustingly. Anyway, we don't know how to do it, the worst is to change to another one. Hey! Forget it, I'll do it. Jiang Bai sighed helplessly. The full level number is not just about combat effectiveness. He is versatile in every way. Squeeze the skewered waha meat with tongs, sprinkle some oil, and start grilling the meat seriously. His movements are very skilled, unlike Yan Xiaosu and Zhang Shiyu who are Xiao Bai at first glance. The timing and location of turning over the meat are just right. After a while, the strong fragrance permeated the air. Advertisement smells good. Yan Xiaosu and Zhang Shiyu looked at each other, picked up the chopsticks at the same time, and waited to be fed. Jiang Bai picked up a piece of meat, this piece is ready to eat, whoever comes first. Give it to Xiaosu. Swallowing, Zhang Shiyu was still a little rational at this time. Then stay away Su. Yan Xiaosu still wanted to be courteous, Jiang Bai had already been placed in her bowl. She herself was so attracted by the strong and perfect fragrance that she couldn't extricate herself. Yan Xiaosu didn't refuse anymore, just picked it up and ate it. Good words. While eating, while talking, it was still very hot. The more or less natural girl's speech was almost incomprehensible. But that happy expression made Zhang Shiyu look forward to it even more. Is it really so delicious? So those shining eyes just stared at Jiang Bai. Jiang Bai was somewhat helpless, turned a piece of pork belly over, and said slowly, it's useless to be anxious, just wait, this one will be fine soon. Zhang Shiyu has a proud personality and is somewhat childish in her maturity. Holding a knife and fork, waiting to be fed, his head as if smashing garlic, Jiang Bai couldn't help being taken aback. Xiao Zhang, when you're not violent, you're still cute. He couldn't help sighing. Zhang Shiyu, yet. Xiao Jiang's mind was full of food, and Jiang Bai's words went directly into his left ear and out of his right ear. Seeing it, Jiang Bai wanted to laugh for a while. When the barbecue is done, put it in the opposite bowl. The impatient Zhang Shiyu tasted it immediately regardless of the hot feeling. Good words. After a while, the same evaluation came. A piece of meat is nothing more than a bite. Immediately, the eyes of the two wast staring at Jiang Bai. With a helpless smile, Jiang Bai had no choice but to seriously grill the meat. By the way, I prepared a barbecue ingredient for the two Xiao Bai. Obviously I am the youngest, why do I feel like I am raising a child here? Xiaozhang, Dumsu, what do you think? Eat and watch. The two spoke in unison, earnestly cooking. God eat and watch. Jiang Bai rolled his eyes. Yan Xiaosu appeared to speak righteously. Don't look at me, I'm just a useless college student. Zhang Shiyu pretended not to hear, and worked hard. Jiang Bai was speechless for a while. I can only relieve this outrageous mood by tasting delicious food. Slowly eating spicy beef cubes, while enjoying the comfort brought by the fat house happy water in the hot summer. Jiang Bai squinted his eyes happily. Say something. Ever since he helped the Linjiang branch deal with the Zerg advertisement, these 5 days have been very busy. I don't know what the Linjiang branch did, which made the Zergs go crazy and keep coming. Of course, this is good news for Jiang Bai. It's hard to make money. Wait for a chance now to end the overlay of kill mode and get amazing rewards. But the Linjiang branch is still curious about his identity. During this period of time, I have been asking questions on the sidelines. It's just that Jiang Bai didn't want to be exposed, and Zhang Shiyu helped cover. Speaking of which, Jiang Bai is quite puzzled. It's really unexpected that Xiao Zhang, who is flat-chested and not very smart, can help him hide his identity. Because of fighting side by side, and often having dinner together, discussing the relationship between organizing undercover agents. The relationship between the three of them is getting better and better. Zhang Shiyu gradually accepted the title Xiao Zhang. Yan Xiaosu is, because of his natural dull character, he is called Dumsu by Jiang Bai. After an hour, Zhang Shiyu, who was full, sipped the fruit juice. Xiao Zhang, what happened to Yajichuo named Lindong Guyu? He seemed very angry when dealing with the Zerg. Although the other party's performance is not obvious. But Jiang Bai found out that hidden anger and hatred towards the Zerg. Lindong Guyu. Zhang Shiyu's expression changed slightly when talking about the other party. After pondering for a while, he sighed and said, actually, this matter is very simple. Because the Zerg killed his own brother. Lindong Guyu lost his parents since he was a child, and he and his younger brother depended on each other for life. But 5 years ago, when his brother went to Kyoto to study at university, he was killed by the Zerg. Since then, Lindong Guyu has applied for countless requests to go to Kyoto to fight the Zerg. When Jiang Bai heard the words, he suddenly realized, so that's what happened. Zhang Shiyu nodded and continued, our Linjiang branch is actually quite special. I told you before, the monster appeared first, and the Kamen Rider appeared later. Weirds seem to be territorial. Generally, weirdos don't gather together. So the knights targeting a certain weirdo will generally be in one branch. For example, in the Kyoto branch, the core knights are Jiadu, Gangdu, Queen Bee, etc. However, the situation in Kyoto is very complicated, not just as simple as Zerg. We are in Linjiang, and the weird person who often appears is Ophelia, Xiaosu should have told you before. But the strange thing is that human scientists have not yet developed a drive for Orphenuo, which has led to the fact that the Linjiang branch has no power to target Orphenuo. So recruit knights from other branches to come to help, me, Lindong Guyu, and others are the same. We are knights from all directions. Hearing this, Jiang Bai suddenly realized. I finally understand why the Linjiang branch always feels like a hodgepodge. But no power against Orphe Enoch? Sophies, Caesar, Delta, etc., have not been developed yet? Dragon Boat Festival reading big discount. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity time, June 22 to June 24, advertisement. Chapter 19. Beep beep. Just as Jiang Bai was thinking about Fei's, Zhang Shiyu's phone rang suddenly. A few minutes after connecting, she hangs up. Jiang Bai, I'm leaving first, the minister said he has something to attend to. Let's go, Xiaosu. Saying that, Zhang Shiyu pulled and stroked her belly. Yan Xiaosu, who was very satisfied, left first. Xiao Zhang has settled the bill. Jiang Bai turned on the air conditioner for a while, drank the happy water, and then left. It's almost July. The weather is getting hotter. The college entrance examination is also over. During this period of time, he was asked by some former classmates and teachers why he didn't take the college entrance examination. After all, with his grades, he can go to the best universities in the country casually. Jiang Bai either ignores it or plays it perfunctory. Anyway, there is a high probability that there will be no communication in the future, and it is meaningless to talk deliberately. I've become a Kamen Rider, so why take the college entrance examination? But then again, although a lot of Zerg have been killed recently, the number is much less than before. It is basically difficult to see the Zerg in patches appearing. It's like knowing someone is hunting them. All hidden. The intelligence department of the Night Security Bureau found little trace of the Zerg. Jiang Bai is free here. The mode stacking of kills also stalled. But having said that, the superposition time is almost over. Just as Jiang Bai was thinking, the sound of the system came to his ears. The killing mode superposition state is about to end. Only 5 days is too short. Jiang Bai said angrily. The system told him 2 days ago. Killing mode can only be superimposed for 5 days. This is to prevent host card bugs and directly use the Emperor to penetrate the world. Finally, brush up the killing mechanism, and the card comes out when the king controls the card. Yes, Jiang Bai really thought so. The hateful Tongzi is not cute at all. Don't talk bad words to yourself, and don't get stuck with bugs. Come on, I want to see what new cards I can draw. The killing mode ends. The host killed a total of 232 larvae and 4 adults. Start drawing control cards. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the Kamen Rider Faiz control card, Kamen Rider Faiz accelerated form control card. Faiz? That guy's basic stats are mediocre, but he's really handsome in fights. Although the acceleration form only lasts 10 seconds, it is enough to pretend to be aggressive. Of course, the final form, the Faiz explosion form, has not yet been obtained, but it is called the never-eating form. Except that it was very difficult to beat the King of Austria, at other times, it was all hanging. It shows its strength. Not a bad reward. He probably figured out the system. At the top of the achievement system, if you draw it, you will be in the full level form. The killing modes can be superimposed to get good rewards. In other cases, such as killing larvae, it is basically worthless. But speaking of it, there is no Faiz, Caesar and other night systems in this world. It made Jiang Bai a little concerned. Although Zhang Shiyu and Yan Xiaosou claimed that the night system was created by human scientists to deal with weirdos. But advertisement Yahidana, you tell me it was made by humans? UFG caught Bashan, didn't you? 80% of the night system is only partially created by humans. And this part? It's hard to say exactly how much. Just when Jiang Bai was thinking and distracted, suddenly, a hurried figure appeared. Come out of the corner of the intersection. All of a sudden, it directly hit Jiang Bai's body. Then, wearing a white skirt and carrying a large box in her arms, Zhang Xiaoyi cried out in surprise. Ah! He suddenly bumped into the stranger's body, and his body lost his balance and fell backwards. But at this moment, suddenly his hand was grabbed and pulled back, to avoid falling on the hot ground. But compared to a fall, she was more worried about being caught up. As soon as he stabilized his body, he hastily apologized, "Sorry, I didn't mean it. I still have something to do, I'm leaving first, I'm really sorry." While talking, Zhang Xiaoyi hurriedly looked back. The 2 tall men in suits and headsets on a hot day were looking around. Sharp and dangerous gazes suddenly fell on her. "Miss, don't run away. Hand over the things." As soon as I heard the roaring voice, Zhang Xiaoyi gritted her silver teeth sharply. Subconsciously glanced at Jiang Bai, and then suddenly apologized, "Sorry for involving you in this. But I really can't do anything, please run away with me." Not waiting for Jiang Bai to say anything, Zhang Xiaoyi lowered her head and dragged him to the front. Jiang Bai was in a daze the whole time. "No, you just run away. Why are you dragging me?" This strange girl pulled him around constantly. It's just that the little girl's speed is obviously not as fast as the 2 men behind her. It looked like he was about to be caught up in no time. Just when Zhang Xiaoyi gritted her teeth and planned to hand over the box to Jiang Bai directly, a calm voice suddenly came from the ear. "Are you in a hurry? Do you need my help?" From the man who was pulling, why did it sound familiar? But forget it, the situation is urgent. Zhang Xiaoyi nodded quickly, the thing in my hand is very important, and it must not be taken away by them. You bring. The words are not finished yet. Sudden feeling of loss of balance in the body. Ah! Shouting in surprise, she suddenly found herself being hugged. Still. Princess hug. Although it was sudden, she subconsciously protected the box. Hold on. Jiang Bai smiled, and then increased his speed sharply. Men's damned competitiveness. Joke. He is Jiang Bai, full level number. Advertisement I can still be chased by you. Shady underground garage. Occasionally there will be vehicles, and the sound of engines will be heard. Tread. Jiang Bai's face didn't turn red, and he stopped short of breath. Glancing behind him, the man in the suit who didn't know where he was being thrown. Sample, that's it. Still want to chase me? Let's eat exhaust gas. That, can you let me down? In her arms, she found that she was safe, and Zhang Xiaoyi blushed slightly. The first time I was hugged by a princess, it turned out to be such an occasion. She was a little shy, covering her face slightly with her suitcase. Hearing this, Jiang Bai came back to his senses. Put her down. Clapped his hands, okay, you are safe, then I will go. Flick off your clothes when it's over, and hide your merit and fame deeply. Only. His wrist was suddenly grabbed. Look back. The girl he seemed familiar with was struggling a lot. Okay, can you do me a favor? Can you take me to the police station? I have to, take this, to the police. She gestured to the box in her hand. What's in here? Jiang Bai asked curiously. Zhang Xiaoyi hesitated while holding the box. Then he raised his big eyes and blinked, if I show you this, can you take me to the police station? Forget it. Jiang Bai resolutely refused. He didn't want to be tricked out of nowhere. Although determined to become the most kind Kamen Rider. But it's meaningless to ask him to help from the beginning to the end. It's better to be direct, and it's more reliable to kick all the people who are kinder than him into cards. You go out, turn left, turn right again, turn left again, turn left again, then. Jiang Bai showed the way. Zhang Xiaoyi was still listening carefully at first, but, she was soon deceived. At a loss, recalling everything I experienced today, tears are about to come out. Left, right, sorry, I can't tell the difference. She was so anxious that she almost cried. The things inside are very important, but I really don't know the way here. Can you please send the things to the police station? Please. She opens the box. Jiang Bai, who was planning to go directly, suddenly stopped in his tracks. This is. He squinted and looked at the contents of the suitcase with a slightly surprised expression. Because the contents of the box at this moment are impressively. Delta Drive. That's right, it's the strongest belt from Kamen Rider Phase. It's a pity that it was used by the weakest Mihara. In the Disappearing Paradise in the theatrical version, it was broken down by Orphe Enoch into the belt of the Emperor of the Sky and the Emperor of the Earth. But what really surprised Jiang Bai was. An hour ago, Zhang Shuyu had just told him. In this world, there is no special drive to deal with Orphe Enoch. Dragon Boat Festival reading big discount. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity time, June 22 to June 24, advertisement. Chapter 20. Strangeness. Xiao Zhang has no reason to lie to him. Unless she was cheated too? But why is this Delta driver brought by this girl? And those two men in suits chased her for this. Jiang Bai always felt that the other party looked familiar, and there were also those two men in suits. By the way, are you Zhang Xiaoyi? He asked with a sudden light in his eyes. You, do you know me? Frustrated, Zhang Xiaoyi raised her head in despair at what she had encountered today. Take a closer look at that face, which can only be called good-looking no matter what angle you look at it from. I think, have I seen you somewhere? She feels the same way. Of course I've seen it. Jiang Bai smiled. He finally remembered. The flower of Jialing in Linjiang No. 1 Middle School. Zhang Xiaoyi. She is of noble birth, and seems to be a lady from a big consortium. There is a special car for pick-up and drop-off every day, and there are even bodyguards. Coupled with the pure appearance, it is the white moonlight of many people. Jiang Bai also met a few times occasionally. etc. In this way, the reason why the two men in suits looked familiar was found. It's Zhang Xiaoyi's bodyguard. Because the drive was chased by his bodyguards all the way. Looks like something interesting happened. Jiang Bai, a third-year student at Linjiang No. 1 Middle School, and you, Zhang Xiaoyi, the flower of Jialing in Linjiang, the eldest lady from a big consortium. But, what exactly did you go through to be chased and killed by your own bodyguards because of this thing? Jiang Bai was really curious. It always feels like it's full of gore. Lez's human nature is revealed inadvertently. Jiang Bai. Zhang Xiaoyi was a little impressed. My desk mate said it. It is said that the most handsome boy is recognized by the girls of Linjiang No. 1 Middle School. That face makes people want to fall in love. Indeed. Such a beautiful face, people can't help but trust him. Pulling the other party by yourself, or even handing over the drive to the other party, isn't it just the subconscious trust brought by the first feeling? As for the other party's question, she opened her mouth. Just wanted to say something. Sudden. Miss. What are you doing? Miss. Return the drive quickly. The two bodyguards in suits who were thrown away before reappeared at this moment. Looking at the open suitcase, his expression suddenly changed. Only. They drive. Well, no wonder they caught up so quickly. It turned out to be open. The expensive black car stopped. The two men got out of the car and glanced at Jiang Bai indifferently. It's like watching a dead person. Miss, you have killed another person. Again. Zhang Xiaoyi's expression changed slightly. Suddenly I couldn't help but think of my mother who ran away to protect me. Yin Fang clenched his teeth suddenly, realizing that the girl who couldn't escape quickly pushed Jiang Bai. Jiang Bai, run away. If you can meet the police, please tell them my father has turned into a monster. The Sifan group is controlled by a group of monsters called Orfino. Miss. Shut up. The bodyguard didn't expect her to dare to talk nonsense at such a time, and immediately growled with a livid face. Zhang Xiaoyi just forced herself to calm down and become stronger. Then. Put on the belt named Delta in the open suitcase. Transform. With a soft shout, the certification is passed. Delta is different from other knights. It is divided into belts, and Delta phones. Advertisement: when transforming, put the phone to your mouth and say a word to turn it on. Then insert it into the slot on the side of the belt to complete the transformation. Just like Zhang Xiaoyi at this moment. When the Delta mobile phone was plugged in, a burst of silver light suddenly appeared. On the girl's tender body, something like a blood vessel seemed to reappear. Then the silver rays of light bloomed, and the orange compound eyes appeared. Then comes Kamen Rider Delta. Miss, are you still stubborn? In this case, I can only take you back with violence. Seeing this, the two bodyguards didn't have the slightest worry about facing Delta. Suddenly, he opened his arms slightly and hummed in a deep voice. Then strange white lines suddenly appeared on the surface of the body. In the next second, his body swelled and turned into a hideous monster. Orpheus the spider, and Orpheus the centipede. The two Orphoenix are not weak. Born in the relationship of a bodyguard, his physical fitness is very strong, and his fighting awareness is also very good. In comparison, Zhang Xiaoyi was obviously a novice. Holding the strongest Delta, but playing a mess. After a while, he was kicked and fell to the ground. The silver light dissipated, and the transformation state was released. Fortunately, the deflated record has not been refreshed. Hold on for 2 minutes. Jiang Bai touched his chin. He now cares more about. Why can she transform? The biggest problem with the Knights of the Faiz series is that their transformation needs to be Orfino. If she had been Orfino, she wouldn't have developed like this. So. I am thinking about it. The two Orphi-Enochs had already stepped forward. Centipede Ophelia, go catch Zhang Xiaoyi. The remaining spider Orfino walked towards Jiang Bai. On the wall of the underground garage, a blue illusory figure suddenly reflected. You shouldn't touch this kind of thing. For our Orfino, the evolution of human beings, disappear. While speaking, tentacles were released from the head. If you get hit by this thing, you will die instantly. Only. The premise is to meet. Jiang Bai subconsciously turned around, dodging the attack lightly. Then come back to your senses. Almost forgot, there's Orphi Enoch. Then get rid of you first, and then go to listen to interesting stories. As soon as these words came out, the spider Orfinuo froze for a moment. Then I suddenly saw the man in front of me take out the pink drive. Kamen Ride Deeked. Mask Control. Emperor Ride. When the illusory light curtain appeared, there was a sound like shuffling cards, and the sound of mirrors shattering mixed together and echoed at the same time. Then the Kamen Rider Taki appeared again. Kamen Rider. Obviously, as Orfinuo, he knows the Kamen Rider who has been suppressing and can't make trouble. But the Pink Knight? I've never seen it before. Who are you? Flip the card box to switch to the sword form. Jiang Bai wiped his long sword casually. It's just a Kamen Rider passing by, remember it for me. With that said, he stepped forward and took the initiative to attack. Facing the strange knight, the spider Orfinuo was quite serious. Take out your own weapon, the Hapo shuriken like a halo. He swung his weapon wildly. Bang! Hapo shuriken and card box sword collide together. Where there is sharpness, sparks appear between interlaced friction. Ao Feienyo couldn't resist, and immediately backed up again and again. Steady yourself. But the disparity in power made the spider Orfinuo couldn't help but make a sound of surprise. He himself was forced to retreat directly. Now. Advertisement. Jiang Bai drew a card. To deal with you, this is the most suitable. Tap your finger lightly to reveal the Faiza's gesture on the card. Kamen Ride Faiz. Mask Control. Faiz. Suddenly, like a button, an ethereal sound rang out. Immediately afterwards, a layer of red blood appeared on the surface of Emperor Ki body. Around the blood vessels, the armor is formed in an orderly manner. Then Kamen Rider Faiz appears. Faiz. He suddenly became like this. Immediately, the two Orfinuos made surprised sounds at the same time. Sure enough, you guys also know Faiz. Jiang Bai narrowed his eyes slightly. He pulled out another card and inserted it into the drive. Attack Ride Otavahin, Attack Ride. Mobile Pegasus. Then, a parked motorcycle was selected next to it, and a Faiz logo appeared, and it passed by. An ordinary motorcycle directly becomes a motorized Pegasus. Jiang Bai took off the long sword above. This is the weapon of Faiz. A laser sword made of photon blood power. Why can you become a Faiz? Impossible, that drive has just been. You Pink Knight, how did you do it? Orphi Enoch the spider, the projections on the walls are incredible. The ferocious body rushed over directly. Hearing this, Jiang Bai couldn't help raising his eyebrows. This Orphi Enoch is really TM crazy dancing in the minefield. When the opponent was holding the Bei Fang shuriken, he attacked again. Jiang Bai raised the red Faiz blade high. Then a sword cut out. Bang! The Faiz blade and the shuriken kept colliding. Sparks continued to shoot between the friction of the metal blade. Bang! 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 The disparity in strength made Jiang Bai still invincible even with Faiz. Spider Orpheus started fighting and retreating. Barely resist with weapons. But right now. Click! Suddenly there was a broken sound. The spider Orfinuo looked at his weapon in surprise. The 8-direction shuriken collided with the sharp long sword in front of him at this moment. There was a crack. You were also distracted during the battle. How did you become a bodyguard? Suddenly, a cold voice came from the ear. The red long sword exuded a dangerous aura. Immediately cut out. He raised the Bei Fang shuriken almost reflexively. Bang! When the sound of collision came again. Then. Surprising cracks suddenly appeared in the light wheel-like shuriken, which seemed to be spreading continuously. Then. Frightened by the spider Orphi Enoch, it shattered. It turned into flying sand and fell on the ground. He was shocked. Never seen anything so outrageous. But right now. The throat was suddenly choked, and the body couldn't stop staggering and retreating. Boom! The body was pressed against the wall on the parking lot. Jiang Bai grabbed the opponent's neck, held the long sword upside down, and then punched. Keep hitting Orphi Enoch's face. Pink, isn't it? You think it's pink, don't you? Show me clearly. That's magenta. Remember to see clearly before speaking in your next life. Dragon Boat Festival reading big discount. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity time, June 22nd to June 24th, advertisement. Chapter 21. Spider Orpheus and Enoch are all stupid. I thought it was the relationship between Enoch and the natural enemy of the night. Will be beaten. Result. UTM turned out to be because I recognized the wrong color. No, your color is not pink, what is it? There is no difference between pink and magenta. Punch after punch, Jiang Bai kept hitting the opponent's face. Obviously. He is not Sakurai Kiwa, and Orpheus is not Niu. Whether it's basic strength or operation, it is impossible for the spider Orpheus to break free from the attack. Just got beaten to the end. Already staring at the stars, dizzy. Jiang Bai let go, and he fell to the ground himself. Spider. The centipede Afiino saw it, and his face suddenly changed. Their strength is about the same, although he is a little less strong. But it's not much stronger. Spiders can be instantly killed. Myself, is not much better. How bad luck is it to meet such a monster? Centipede Orpheus subconsciously took a step back. But right now. Sudden. The girl who just fell to the ground. Suddenly he coughed twice, and got up again. Unhurriedly, he tidied up his hair in an orderly manner, and gently flicked it back very sassily. Then she revealed that indifferent and beautiful face, her red lips parted slightly, a mere servant. How dare you be so presumptuous? Zhang Xiaoyi's voice changed from soft and gentle to cold at this moment. If she was a pure girl at the beginning, now she is like a domineering female president. An invisible sense of oppression bloomed silently. Oh, Jiang Bai, who stepped on the spider Orpheus, had bright eyes, and his interest suddenly came. What's the situation? Suddenly changed? And facing the centipede Ophelia, who suddenly changed her breath. As a powerful Enoch, he couldn't help but take a step back at this moment. His blue phantom figure was reflected on the wall. Elder. Missy. You are not the eldest lady. No, you are. He was so frightened that he stuttered, making it hard for people to understand. But at this moment, Jiang Xiaoyi's momentum suddenly changed. Pick up the Delta Drive on the ground and put it on your waist. Transform. An indifferent voice sounded. In the next second, the silver light bloomed again. And those orange-yellow compound eyes are at this moment. Suddenly exuded an extremely terrifying and dangerous aura. When the ferocious eyes meet those orange compound eyes. The centipede, Ophelia, was frightened and lost control in an instant. Suddenly turn around and run. Advertisement constantly making terrified sounds. Unfortunately. He can't escape. Jiang Xiaoyi raised the Delta gun. Check. This is the control code for using Night Kick. Exceed charge. Charging. Immediately, silver light was emitted from the belt, and entered the Delta gun through the blood vessels. Then the gun was aimed at the terrified centipede Orpheus. What was shot was a beam of light, which fell on the body of Orpheus in an instant. Immediately, a silver spiral was directly formed, controlling it to stay in place. Immediately afterwards, Delta slowly lowered his center of gravity, when the indifferent female voice came. The body leaps high. With one blow, the hammer of the fallen angel is activated. Through the photon spiral, run through Enoch. When the body appears as if passing through a spiral. Behind him, the centipede Ophelia Enoch suddenly had a purple seal appear on the surface. Immediately afterwards, red flames ignited all over his body. In situ, turned into sand. No. Impossible. Miss. How could Missy possess such power? The spider Orpheus, who was stepped on the ground by Jiang Bai, is unbelievable. Jiang Bai was thinking. That's right. When he picked up Jiang Xiaoyi, he accidentally touched the muscles of his calf. She looks like a weak woman, but the other party is actually. Physical fitness is quite good. And I heard before that Jiang Xiaoyi was still learning various self-defense techniques since she was a child. Of course, it is a real self-defense technique. Not that gangster excited punch. From Jiang Bai's point of view, the opponent's physical fitness combined with Delta's strength. It is reasonable to exert such power. Only. Pink guy. Hand him over. Jiang Bai, who was watching the fun, was suddenly pointed at and said so. Delta, his eyes fell on the spider Orpheus lying on the ground. Obviously, she didn't intend to let the other party go. But. It's pink again. Sooner or later I'll kill all of you who call me Pink. But I am Faiz now? Why do you call yourself Pink? Jiang Bai raised his eyebrows and said coldly, what if I refuse? While speaking, he drew out the card. Final attack ride FFF Faiz. Final attack ride, Faiz. The sudden sound made the spider Orfinuo's scalp tingle. A blue phantom projection appears on the ground. Wait, what are you going to do? Raise your head. The lightsaber in Jiang Bai's hand suddenly burst into breathtaking light. Dangerous aura suddenly rushed over. Advertisement Orphenik the spider is terrified. Before dying, the long sword that was shining with crimson light was reflected. Clang! The Fai's sharp blade pierced through his body. Then the Fai's sign came up. Followed. Blue flames emerged from the body of the spider Orphenik, turning into a burst of sand. Jiang Bai raised his foot in disgust. Then look up. I can't help but look forward to what this changed delta will do. Zhang Xiaoyi, it seems that he did not expect him to be so decisive. After a moment of silence, he slowly raised the delta gun. Check. Exceed charge. Charging. The silver photon's blood poured into the muzzle of the gun, aiming at Jiang Bai and shooting it out. Immediately in front of him, that silver spiral formed. In an instant, Jiang Bai felt as if his body was being suppressed by an invisible force. It seemed very difficult to move even a little bit. This is the photon blood, the unique ability of Kamen Rider Fai's series knights. Only. Jiang Bai watched as he leaped high, ready to give himself a night-kicked delta. Don't think of me as Orphenik who can be frightened by you. With a contemptuous smile, the light has not dissipated, and the Fai's blade is in a charged state. Suddenly, a full moon-like state appeared. Cut ahead, above the silver spiral. Bang! Chi-chi! There was a piercing sound. The charged crimson blade is cutting through the photon spiral. This thing can be cut. As long as the strength is strong enough, it can not only resist 2 or 3 Fai's series night kicks. It can also crush the photon spiral in advance. And obviously, Jiang Bai is the type with enough strength. Snort! With a low cold snort, the spiral was cut open. Instantly shattered. Then, Jiang Bai was about to press Delta's face. Teach her how to distinguish between pink and magenta. But right now, Delta, who jumped into the air, suddenly heard a familiar voice. Don't want. Then the knight's kick stopped suddenly. The body loses its balance and falls. A silver light flashed, and the transformation state was suddenly released. Jiang Bai. He frowned slightly. When he stepped forward, he found that Zhang Xiaoyi had passed out. It's so inconvenient. It should be said that meeting each other has satisfied the happiness of Leza people. Still have a lot of trouble? Snort. Flower of jailing. Thank you for your good luck, after all, you have met the kindest Kamen Rider. Dragon Boat Festival reading big discount. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity time, June 22nd to June 24th, advertisement. Chapter 22. The building of the Knight's Security Bureau. The high-level conference room of the Linjiang branch. Several ministers, as well as the most powerful Lin Dongyu, were there. After Zhang Shiyu knocked on the door and came in, a look of doubt suddenly flashed in her beautiful eyes. In high-level meetings, there are usually only a few ministers, their assistants, and her and Lin Dongyu, the two main combat forces facing the river. But why today how many guys are there that I don't know at all? Zhang Shiyu's eyes immediately fell on a very mature man of about 32 or 3-year-old. And beside him, there were 2 other strangers, one younger and one older. Wearing the uniform of the Knight's Security Service, with the emblem of the executive department on the chest. Could it be? At this time, Yan Daosheng also spoke. Xiao Zhang, sit down first. After Zhang Shiyu sat down, she asked their identities suspiciously. Minister, they are. Support from Kyoto. Yan Daosheng picked up the thermos again. Recently, the Zerg have been gathering continuously, and the pressure brought about by wanton chaos is great. The knight who claimed to be the emperor relieved the huge pressure. But now, the support sent by Kyoto made him relax even more. These people are knights who specialize in dealing with Zerg. Each one is strong. Now that they have arrived, the next most important thing can be handed over to them. As for myself, I can live a healthy semi-retired life again. It's better to be Orphe Enoch, so it doesn't make too much trouble. And even if it appeared, it would not be the opponent of the Linjiang branch. Support from Kyoto. Zhang Shiyu took a look at the three of them. And the most mature man nodded kindly towards her. Ms. Zhang Shiyu, hello, I have heard of your name for a long time. My name is Zhang Yu, Kamen Rider Queen Bee, and I am here to support the Linjiang branch under the order of the headquarters. Kamen Rider Queen Bee? Zhang Shiyu vaguely heard about the knight Yan Zaisu mentioned when she accompanied her on missions. It was created by the organization in Kyoto according to the characteristics of the Zerg. A knight with the ability to elevate time. Hello. She nodded as a greeting. Zhang Yu looked away, then coughed twice. Hello, ministers of the Linjiang branch. Let me introduce to you first. He stood up, pointed to the tall, thin man on the left, probably about 27 or 88, and said, This is Wang Yuanming, Kamen Rider Thunderfly. Hello. Wang Yuanming greeted. His eyes especially paused for a moment on Zhang Shiyu. Xiao Zhang, who has a keen intuition, suddenly raised his head. The sharp eyes were facing him. Seems to say, what's the matter with you? Wang Yuanming stretched out his hand, showing a handsome smile that he thought was charming. It's like saying hello. Then there is no other action. Zhang Shiyu frowned, feeling that this person was really strange. The small episode does not affect the introduction here. Advertisement. Zhang Yu pointed to the right side. A young boy who looks similar to Yan Zaisu. Lin Zongmai, Kamen Rider Gangdu, is the trump card cultivated by the headquarters. The young boy seemed to be familiar with himself. When Zhang Yu introduced, he was looking around the conference room very curiously. Finally, he muttered with disappointment on his face, It's no different from the headquarters in Kyoto. I thought there would be something different in Linjiang. What are you mumbling about here? Hurry up and say hello to the ministers. Zhang Yu's face darkened when he heard this, like an old father with a bare child. The hand on the table pinched Lin Zongmai. Ah! That! Hello, ministers, I'm Lin Zongmai. The next meeting was very boring and basically just polite talk. Business is dominated by blowing each other. Zhang Shiyu didn't like this kind of thing very much, and almost fell asleep. But in a daze, I heard some useful news. Follow normal development. The support from Kyoto should have arrived as quickly as 5 days before. Although everyone has a task, the arrival time will be inconsistent. But generally speaking, it won't be so late. But from nowhere, the Zerg learned that Kyoto's reinforcements were coming. They all encountered resistance at the same time. The vehicle was either destroyed, or the Zerg was encountered on the road, and they instinctively chased and killed each other. In short, the three of them finally arrived after so long. And beyond that, it's about talking about that thing. He didn't say much, but Zhang Yu simply asked a few questions about the situation and then disappeared. And then, Minister Yan, let the person in charge of our support tell you about this. As Zhang Yu said, he turned on the communication and projected it on the conference room. Immediately, the scene of a high-speed rail car appeared in the sight of several ministers. Then, a figure in the uniform of the executive department appeared. Look at the figure, it should be a girl. Unable to see his face clearly, he just picked up his coffee slowly. Ministers in Linjiang, hello. My name is Bai Chugzhu, Kamen Rider. Jiudo. Hearing this, the expressions of several ministers changed slightly. Kamen Rider Koto, the ace of Kyoto. The number of Zerg killed is said to exceed 1,000. Many of the Zerg who were causing chaos in the capital and acting recklessly were all killed by her single-handedly. In the Kyoto Executive Department, there are all the titles of the Goddess of War. Although not in the capacity of a minister, but in terms of his status. Even higher than the minister of the branch. After all, this is a super strong person who can suppress one side. Hello, Miss Bai. Yan Daosheng has also seen the big scene. He quickly recovered his expression, and then spoke seriously. Minister Yan, hello. Because of the Zerg attack, it may take a few days before I arrive at the Linjiang branch. Because she is the strongest, the Zerg that came to stop her is also the strongest. The key is not to confront her head-on, but to destroy the high-speed rail. Or kill wantonly at high-speed rail stations along the way. And the plane is about the same. Advertisement nearly crashed several times. In order to prevent her from coming to Linjiang, the Zerg seems to be desperate. It doesn't matter, Mr. Zhang Yu, and other knights in the branch, will definitely be able to protect the completion of that thing. Originally, I wanted to talk about the powerful foreign aid of Dichi, but Yan Daosheng thought about it and ignored it. After all, looking for foreign aid is somewhat against the rules. Only. Minister Yan, do you actually want to say, Kamen Rider Techie? During the communication, the calm voice sounded like a stranger should not enter. It can be done without the prohibition of the law, and it cannot be done without the authorization of the law. Minister Yan, for us, it's better not to do things without authorization, do you understand? The upper-level people are very dissatisfied with you for using unknown people as foreign aid at such a critical moment. After all, you also know the importance of that thing. Kamen Rider Deeked, the timing of his appearance is too coincidental. As soon as this remark came out, Yan Daosheng fell silent. This is also the reason why they have been making sidelines about the identity of the Imperial Knight recently. The appearance of the other party happened on the eve of the completion of that thing. I really can't help but worry that it will be undercover. After all, even the Knight organization has undercover agents, let alone outsiders. It's just that the Emperor seldom communicated with them. Zhang Xiu, a girl who has always been straightforward, is surprisingly smart. No matter how cliched it is, I can't make it out. Now that the matter is being pursued, Yan Daosheng just sighed, I know, what responsibility is there, I will bear it with all my strength. Are you kidding me? Lin Dongyu slammed his fist on the table and got up. The Zergs are suddenly gathering in Linjiang. This is the default of your Kyoto Intelligence Department. If the minister hadn't asked the Emperor's cavalry to help us, there would be countless victims in Linjiang now. Mr. Lin Dongyu, calm down. Zhang Yu looked at the other party's fried pot, and quickly stretched out his hands, signaling the other party to take a deep breath and calm down. At this time, the people in the Linjiang branch had the same expression. There were problems with Yan Daosheng's choice, but it was indeed the best choice for the situation at the time. Just when the atmosphere fell into a needlepoint confrontation, full of gunpowder. Bai Chugxiu put it in the coffee cup, and the voice still sounded like waves, Mr. Lin Dongyu, don't be so impatient, I haven't finished my words yet. Regarding the situation of the Linjiang branch, I confirmed after investigation that your choice cannot be completely denied. That's why I've already suggested to the higher UPS that Minister Yan, you don't have to worry about taking any responsibility. Hearing that Yan Daosheng didn't have to bear the responsibility, everyone in the Linjiang branch breathed a sigh of relief. Lin Dongyu sat down again in satisfaction. Jiang Bai also breathed a sigh of relief, after all, she proposed to pull Jiang Bai over to help. But the stone hanging in my heart has not completely fallen. One wave is not flat, and another wave rises again. Although Minister Yan, you don't have to take responsibility. But there is one thing that the ministers of the Linjiang branch must clarify. Zhang Yu and the others have already arrived, so, from now on, you can no longer communicate with that decade. Of course, it's best to arrange someone to inform that Deeked. During this period of time, don't wander around at will, and don't intervene in the war between knights and weirdos. In short, until that thing is completed, there can be no more accidents. So Minister Yan, what the headquarters mean is to warn Deeked, either join the organization, or, don't show up. Otherwise we will treat them as enemies and arrest them. Zhang Xiu's beautiful eyes tightened, and she stood up suddenly. Staring at the figure projected on the screen. You said, to arrest him. Dragon Boat Festival reading big discount. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity time, June 22nd to June 24th, advertisement. Chapter 23. Neat room, furniture orderly and orderly arrangement. A faint fragrance spread into Zhang Xiaoyi's nose. He opened his eyes in a daze. Looking at the strange ceiling, neat furniture, faint fragrance. Suddenly, a memory rushes straight to my brain. The girl couldn't help covering her head and humming softly. In about a few seconds, the memory before coma was absorbed. She finally reacted to. Here it is. Is it Jiang Bai's home? Get out of bed carefully and put on the slippers placed beside the bed. Zhang Xiaoyi pushed open the door. But the time is just right. Jiang Bai just took a shower and was wiping his hair. Hearing the sound of the door opening, he turned his head. Seeing that Zhang Xiaoyi woke up, she smiled and waved her hand. Oh, Sleeping Beauty is awake. The voice just fell. Snapped. The door suddenly closed again. Jiang Bai. What's the matter with this girl? By the way, the look in her eyes just now. Jiang Bai lowered his head subconsciously. Oh, did you get emotional when you saw your masculine figure? It's a pity that he is the man she can't get. Humming a pleasant ditty, drying his hair, he went to change clothes. In the room with the door. Lean against the door. Zhang Xiaoyi blushed. Oh my god, why, the figure is so good. Obviously looks very thin. Salsa. Salsa. Although it was separated by a door, she could clearly hear the sound of dressing outside. What Jinghong saw at a glance seemed to become clearer. 1 minute. Boom. Jiang Bai knocked on the door. Come out, Sleeping Beauty, how long are you going to hide? I'm looking forward to your story now. There was a moment of silence. There was no sound at all. So much so that Jiang Bai suspected that she would faint from nosebleeds when she saw her perfect figure, right? After all, it is his handsome man Jiang Bai, which is also a reasonable thing. Whoever sees his face can't help falling in love. Just when he was narcissistic. Click. Zhang Xiaoyi blushed and opened the door carefully. The gentleman's face was not red and his heart was beating. He waved his hand very naturally. Come on, tell me all the gossip and interesting stories. On the table. Maybe it's because of the transformation and fighting. Zhang Xiaoyi was very hungry. While still maintaining elegant dining etiquette. Looking at the empty dishes and the almost empty rice cooker. Jiang Bai fell into deep thought. How does that little belly fit? The huge mouth of the abyss belongs to yes. Pay attention to his eyes. Zhang Xiaoyi is even more embarrassed. Where's my drive? She took the initiative to speak and changed the subject. There. Jiang Bai pointed to the sofa. Seeing the driver, Zhang Xiaoyi breathed a sigh of relief. Then the look in Jiang Bai's eyes changed gradually. She really didn't expect that the other party was also a knight. It was just an accidental collision on the road, and she pinned her hopes on him. At least send this thing to the police station to give humans the power to protect themselves. But I didn't expect. Advertisement he is a knight. And so strong. It actually destroyed the photon spiral released by another her with one blow. Perhaps. This is the hope God gave her to save her and save mankind. Zhang Xiaoyi couldn't help having such thoughts. So she mustered up her courage. That. I don't know who to start with. Then, can I tell you what I know and everything that happened? Jiang Bai shrugged, eating a homemade salad, looking like he was eating melon. Zhang Xiaoyi took a deep breath and raised her head. Look at the warm-toned ceiling. The mind calmed down slightly, and after letting go of the self, he talked about the story that happened to him. I was born in Safan Group. It's a technology company that specializes in the research and development of smart high-tech and cutting-edge equipment. My father rarely appears in my memory, and my mother has always been with me. Although my family is rich, I am not happy. Hearing this, Jiang Bai couldn't help complaining, we don't understand the happiness of rich people. Zhang Xiaoyi pursed her red lips and smiled wryly. Didn't say much, just continued to recall, because I was guarded since I was a child, I can't go out casually and make friends casually. Every day is full of activities. Learn piano, learn painting, learn free fighting. Those memories are blurred, but you remember that every day is very busy. Also, boring. That's the life, until 5 days ago. 5 days ago, I finished the college entrance examination, and I was escorted home by bodyguards as usual. However, on that day, in my memory, my father, who was always busy with work and rarely saw each other, came back. I miss my father so much, it's rare to find the courage to go to his study. But I didn't expect that it was at that moment that everything changed. There was a little sadness on Zhang Xiaoyi's face. If she wasn't too impulsive, maybe. Everything will not be like this now. Sighing, she continued, at that time, I went directly to my father's study. It was found that the door was not closed properly. When I was about to knock on the door, I heard a sudden scream. Scream. Jiang Bai ate the sliced dragon fruit with great interest. His eyes narrowed slightly, looking quite happy. Well, that's a servant, a new servant in the family. It seems that he made some mistakes and was punished by his father. I thought it was punishment, but through the open door. But I saw a ferocious monster and killed the servant. The servant turned into sand. And then, that monster turned into my father. Jiang Bai showed such an expression as expected. So your father is Ao Fei Enyo. Ao Fino? So you know this name too. Zhang Xiaoyi nodded, as if recalling what happened a few days ago. I still have a deep impression on it, and I am still terrified by the horrifying and unbelievable picture. Taking a deep breath, he calmed down and continued, I was terrified. Almost exposed myself. But at that time, there was another person in the study. I didn't see it clearly, but it seems to be young, holding a suitcase, that is, the Delta Drive. Father and that mysterious person talked a lot in the study. I only remember the more important part, which is about Orphe Enoch, which my father called human evolution. And that mysterious person thinks it's a curse. So, they got into an argument. The content after that, because someone came, so I didn't hear it. Zhang Xiaoyi picked up the water and took a sip. It seemed that this was the only way to relieve the palpitations at that moment. Jiang Bai pondered for a while, looking at the Delta driver over there. Since the drive was brought by that mysterious man, why did it fall into your hands? Speaking of this, Zhang Xiaoyi couldn't help showing a sad expression. It was my mother who handed me the suitcase. My mother raised me from a young age, and I believed in her. Because I couldn't believe that my father was a monster, I hesitated and told my mother the day before yesterday. And then, my mother suddenly appeared with a suitcase and told me to run away forever, and never come back. She sent me to the gate, but when she was about to escape, she was discovered by the bodyguards. That's when I found out that the bodyguards were also Ao Fei Enyo. When we are going to be captured back. Mother put Delta Drive on me, taught me to transform, helped me escape. After that, I was hunted down all the time. I didn't know what to do, it was all so sudden. So want to turn over the drive to the police and tell the police what happened at home. But I don't know where the police station is, and the phone was lost on the way. This moment. Advertisement. The pure and beautiful girl looked very helpless. There is a daze that the father is a monster. There is helplessness against sudden changes. There are also concerns about the status of the mother. Jiang Bai originally wanted to say that's it. But seeing the pitiful look of the other party, he still didn't say anything. Although it is the flower of jailing. But in fact, this girl is probably because she has never made friends. A bit of social fear, so it looks very cold and unattainable to outsiders. Obviously a rather weak character. But the story told by the other party. There are many doubts. If her family is all Orfino, then she who can transform into Delta may not be a human being. Secondly, what did Zhang Xiaoyi's mother discover? Will Zhang Xiaoyi escape with the driver? At last. It's really a classic example of loving father and daughter, but now I'm even more curious about why you suddenly changed your personality after being knocked down by Ao Fei Enyo. Talking about this matter, Zhang Xiaoyi showed an embarrassed expression. This. Actually. I'm not so sure either. It's just that sometimes, I can hear another person talking in my mind. I always thought it was a hallucination, and I didn't confirm it until today. It seems that I really have another person in my mind. Split personality. Jiang Bai touched his chin. Zhang Xiaoyi shook her head. Not to deny, but not to know. Sorry, I can't seem to help you with anything. This drive, do you want to use it? Jiang Bai suddenly revealed a strange expression. What, you kid want to hurt me? I saved your life, you killed me with a drive that only Orphe Enoch can transform into, right? But looking at the other party's appearance, it is obvious that they don't know that there is such a thing. So he sighed. Not everyone can use this drive. Don't just transform into someone else, maybe you will die. In addition, my own drive is the strongest, and I don't need anything else. He blinked his bright eyes, full of confidence. Speaking of which, what are you going to do next? If you want to go to the police station, I can help you call the police, or I can help you contact a reliable person. For a girl, it would be more appropriate to leave it to Xiaozhang. After all, here I am. Lonely men and widows or something. Jiang Bai expressed that he was worried that the girl's willpower was not strong enough, and she was greedy for him. Although he still cares about the Pink Knight revenge that another personality said. But Don't let the other party say a word, he will interfere with the other party for the rest of his life. And just right. At this time, a message came suddenly. Zhejiang's. Jiang Bai, come to meet me at the coffee shop, I have something important to tell you. Put away your phone. Good news. A reliable person just wants to see me. I'll tell her about you. Although Xiaozhang is a violent maniac, he should be happy to take care of the lovely girl. She. Zhang Xiaoyi showed a worried expression. Jiang Bai knew what she meant and smiled. Don't worry, Xiaojiang's words can still be trusted. After all, she doesn't look very smart, and she can't do things that require brains. As he said that, the picture of the Princess Taiping, who was waiting to be fed, with a head like a pounding garlic, could not help appearing in her mind. Oh. Zhang Xiaoyi responded. He was quite obedient, which saved Jiang Bai a lot of trouble. This is my spare mobile phone, take it, and remember to contact me if you need anything. Then I'll go first. Jiang Bai waved his hand, closed the door and left. And in situ. At the dining table. Looking at the surrounding environment, smelling a faint fragrance. I don't know if it's shampoo, body wash, or represents body fragrance selected by genes. Zhang Xiaoyi just took off the slippers very insecurely. Then, placed the little feet on the chair. The whole person curled up slightly, burying his face in his arms. Dragon Boat Festival reading big discount. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity time, June 22nd to June 24th, advertisement. Chapter 24. Coffee shop. Zhang Shiyu's face was ugly. Sitting in the box, drinking coffee alone. Boom. There was a knock on the door. Then, Jiang Bai walked in. Seeing the handsome boy appear, Zhang Shiyu's brows became even more sad. Xiaozhang, it's rare to see you come out without Dudazhu. Did you dislike that fool so quickly? Jiang Bai smiled freely and sat opposite. Looking at his smile, Zhang Shiyu felt even more uncomfortable. Yo, you didn't even refute. Tell me, what's wrong? Jiang Bai glanced casually, and he could see that the other party was absent-minded. You can see it. Xiaozhang pursed his lips, very unnaturally. Jiang Bai rolled his eyes, you are just short of having bad news and sorry for me written on your face. It has something to do with me? Let me guess. Could it be because your support from Kyoto came? You don't need me anymore. Calculating the time, according to what you said before during the unfinished building incident in Donghui City, you said that your branch had requested support at that time. No matter how slow it is, it's time to arrive. After all, this is a new era where high-speed rail and airplanes can be seen everywhere. In this case, it is only natural that the Imperial Cavalry as an outsider will no longer be needed. Zhang Shi raised her head in surprise, just about to say something. It was interrupted by Jiang Bai again. But if you just don't need my help, you won't show such an expression. It would have been worse. Suddenly, the voice that was always free and playful changed. Become low and dangerous. I said. Should you not regard me as an enemy, arrest me. Xiaozhang, you betrayed me. Snapped. As soon as these words came out, Zhang Shiyu directly punched him on the head. Idiot! What is betrayal? What do you think of me? How could I do such a thing? Hiss. If it is a comic now, then Jiang Bai should have a big bag in his mind. This violent woman is really born with supernatural power. Whoever marries her is out of luck. It hurts. Xiaozhang. Rubbing the bag on his head, Jiang Bai looked at Zhang Shiyu, who was puffed up. Okay, it's my fault. I just said, where does Xiaozhang have the brains to do such brain-intensive things as arranging traps? Zhang Shiyu snapped. Shut up, BD. You don't speak, you are really a rare handsome guy in the world. As soon as I speak, I really want to kill you. She was furious. And there was another bag on Jiang Bai's head. He felt like he had hit his nemesis. It's like Guang Ziahai to Men Shishi. One laugh point can carry away the world destroyer. And Xiaojiang's fist. It's the same for him, fist punch really hurts. It hurts. But Xiaojiang is flat-chested and cannot support children. He also doesn't know how to wear stockings, which doesn't seem like Guang Ziahai. The dress is quite mature, like a beautiful royal sister. But she doesn't know how to cook, she is a waste who can only wait for food. The more Jiang Bai thought about it, the more disgusted he became. I still don't know what he is thinking at the moment. After venting her depression with a punch, Zhang Shiyu gave him a coquettish look. Stop pretending, you're not in pain. I didn't even try. Advertisement Jiang Bai. You haven't worked hard yet. He sighed deeply. Xiao Zhang, listen to my advice. In the future, you have to control your own power, it will really kill you. Do not believe. Zhang Shiyu turned her head and picked up the coffee. Then it seemed that the BD woman was arrogant, as if giving orders. While drinking coffee, it was as if he was biting a bad woman. Snore in just 2 sips, more than half of the coffee disappeared. All right, Jiang Bai, I have something important to tell you. Let's talk. Jiang Bai rubbed his head, carelessly. He is so casual. Instead, Zhang Shiyu didn't know how to speak. Gritting his teeth tightly, he hesitated again and again, and finally thought of the BD's last threatening words. Still said it. What you said before, is actually true. The knights sent by the headquarters to target Zerg with the ability to elevate time have arrived. But headquarters is not happy that we have asked for your help. Plus because of some relationship. We have to make sure the nearest city is safe. So the above request, Jiang Bai, you don't have to join the organization, and you don't have to reveal your identity. But the same. You can't transform at will, and you can't intervene in the battle between knights and Zergs at will. If not, the knights from the headquarters will regard you as an enemy. When Zhang Shiyu spoke, she was full of inexplicable sadness and depression. Get along during this time. Although he is very serious, he always teases her. But she can see it. The other person is a good person. She has long regarded him as a friend. But now, to say such things to him, it's like killing a donkey. Zhang Shiyu didn't even dare to look at the boy's expression. Maybe it's worrying about seeing disappointment and regret. Only the conditions sound reasonable. Suddenly, a calm voice came from my ear. Ah! Zhang Shiyu raised her head in surprise. Only then did he realize that Jiang Bai was holding a cup of coffee with a calm expression on his face. I can understand. After all, I don't want to join your organization, and I don't want to expose my identity and cause trouble. You have your demands, and it is very reasonable to raise them. He probably could understand why such a sudden request. After all, the Linjiang branch is researching something for Zerg. Clearly, they were concerned about their identities. Jiang Bai, who is unwilling to expose himself, is the most suspicious and dangerous person right now. Even if he helped the Linjiang branch, even though they had fought side by side. But that was just once. Compared with the so-called friendship in war. For those at the top, the most important thing now is the thing against Zerg. Of course Jiang Bai can understand. Only they have their demands. He also has his demands. Then you. Zhang Shiyu was a little surprised to get such an answer, just about to say something. Jiang Bai took the lead. Okay, there's no need to talk about meaningless things. Advertisement anyway. Xiao Zhang is Xiao Zhang, my friend. If it's okay, I'll leave first, and there's a poor homeless kid waiting for me to go back. Zhang Shiyu ignored the front and back, and only heard the friend in the middle. Suddenly, she stopped Jiang Bai. Wait. Jiang Bai turned around. Sit down first, I have something for you. Oh? Is there any gift as compensation? Jiang Bai turned around with a playful look. Xiao Zhang was serious. Slowly take out the beautifully packaged bag at your feet and put it on the table. This, for you. It's not a gift for compensation, but a gift for you as a friend. Jiang Bai paused slightly, his face a little more serious. Walk back, sit down again, and remove the bag. Expose it. Well packaged, very beautiful, the latest model, portable Polaroid camera. He didn't expect that the gift would be this. Xiao Zhang flicked his hair unnaturally. When I saw you taking pictures before, you used your mobile phone. You said before that you want to be a photographer, so I'll buy this for you. If you don't want it, I'll take it back. Jiang Bai's eyes became hot at this moment. He really didn't expect it. Xiao Zhang will listen carefully to what he said at that time. Will, notice he hasn't bought a camera yet. This gift, for him, it is more precious than ever before. Looking at Zhang Shiyu's eyes, she suddenly became gentle. Xiao Zhang, although you are often careless, but occasionally when you are careful, it is really touching. Zhang Shiyu turned her head unnaturally. What do you mean I am often careless? Also, don't look at me with that look. Is she being shy? Xiao Zhang is also unexpectedly innocent. With a smile on his face, Jiang Bai got up and sat beside Xiao Zhang. Let me see what Xiao Jiang's gift looks like. He unwrapped the outer packaging, but... Hey? What's the matter with this color? Hell, the camera turned out to be magenta. Ah? I think your night is pink. Zhang Shiyu was taken aback. Is it possible? I've said it 10,000 times that it's called magenta. Jiang Bai felt really tired, he sighed helplessly, and continued, secondly, you are really careful where you shouldn't be. Now, he really wants to start a live broadcast and tell everyone. This TM is called magenta. Magenta. Hey. I spent so much money to customize this, don't push it. I didn't know you didn't like it. Zhang Shiyu suddenly lost her temper, revealing her nature as a violent woman. But before he finished speaking, Jiang Bai smiled, wrong, I like it very much. It's just, the color is really magenta. Xiao Zhang. Does this really make a difference? If I don't call you a fan, I'm already doing you a lot of face. But seeing Jiang Bai's happy and satisfied smile, he didn't say any more. He's like this, he's happy, and it's actually quite good to be unruly. Of course, it would be even better if you could shut up that mouth full of coquettish and annoying people. With his white arms dragging his chin, Xiao Zhang looked at the happy boy. Can't help but think so. Suddenly, she blushed slightly and felt a hand on her waist. It's Jiang Bai, he posted it. Come. Take a photo as a souvenir, Xiao Zhang. This is the first work of the great photographer Mr. Jiang Bai. Eggplant. Dragon Boat Festival reading big discount. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity time, June 22 to June 24, advertisement. Chapter 25. Eggplant. Jiang Bai put his arms around Xiao Jiang's waist slightly. Pull it into your arms. The latter blushed slightly, but did not resist. Instead, he stretched out his fingers and made what he thought was the best pose. Click. After the photo was taken, Jiang Bai took it out. Xiao Zhang camera is a customized Polaroid type. Once the photo is taken, the photo can be taken out. Jiang Bai took 2 photos, one for himself and one for Zhang Shiyu. Appreciate the masterpiece of Master Jiang Bai. After all, I am omnipotent. He smiled with a confident and proud smile on his face. Zhang Shiyu believed it. Indeed, I have never seen anything that Jiang Bai can't. Come to think of it, the photos will look good too. No. What's with this distorted light? I have such a beautiful face, why did you take such a strange picture of me? It was as if our 2 faces were fused together. Why? So abstract. The smile on Xiao Jiang's face disappeared instantly. In its place was seriousness. Jiang Bai. Hey? What? He was fiddling with a new toy. Are you an abstract photographer? Zhang Shiyu's voice lost emotion. No. Jiang Bai replied without turning his head. Then why did you take pictures of me like this, UBD? Zhang Shiyu was so angry that she punched another real injury. Jiang Bai stroked the 3 bags' heads and left heartily. Otherwise, I will be killed by the real injury. Xiao Zhang was in no hurry to leave. Sitting on the chair angrily. Beautiful eyes fell on the photo leaning against the quilt. Looking at the boy's appearance, looking at his own appearance. Looking at the so-called appearance of friends. Suddenly I couldn't help laughing. Stupid, even if I don't have big breasts, I'm still very attractive. I know the LSP that took advantage of me. She did notice. Advertisement my own cup, the remaining half of the coffee. It was all drunk by some SP who took it without warning. Walk on the road. There was a slight smile on Jiang Bai's face. Camera, I really forgot that I didn't have this thing. Mainly, a mobile phone can be used instead. However, the Imperial ride without a camera. I always feel like something is missing. In short, Xiao Zhang has a heart. But Xiao Zhang has a heart, but the Cavaliers' security department. Speaking of night security, Jiang Bai still misunderstood a bit. He always thought that the Night Security Bureau was a large formal organization. But actually, Xiao Zhang, who is more experienced, told him at the previous dinner. The earliest Night Security Department is an organization formed by several powerful Kamen Riders to deal with monsters. It is gradually developing by absorbing knights from all over the world. The final formation of civil security organizations. Self-reliant most of the time. And in this world, in addition to the Night Security Department, there are also some Night Kamen Rider organizations. However, Xiao Zhang did not elaborate because it involves confidentiality regulations. In short, what happened today made Jiang Bai aware of this problem. Night Safety Department. It has indeed made a great contribution to the protection of innocent human beings. But they also have a lot of internal problems. Especially Zhang Xiaoyi. Not sure about her condition yet. If it was Ao Fei Enyo, sending her to the Night Security Department by himself would undoubtedly be a wolf in the mouth of a tiger. That organization can't say its attitude towards the issue of Orphe Enoch. If you have a race that is not mine, your mind will be different. Zhang Xiaoyi was finished. And Xiao Zhang, who takes care of her, will also face trouble. It's better not to trouble Xiao Zhang anymore. Her brain capacity. I'm afraid I can't bear these messy troubles. 80% of them will hit the table violently. Forget it, the lonely and helpless little poor, let's take care of it by myself. Just in time, let's investigate Orphenuo following her clues. There should be a lot of Orphenuo. Maybe you can bring yourself a good harvest. Advertisement in the sky. Because it's already night. It was getting dark. Jiang Bai yawned. Glanced at the time. It's almost 10 o'clock. It's time to go back. Late at night. Jiang Bai took out the key and opened the door. Halfway in, I was suddenly taken aback. I saw, on the dining table in the living room, beside warm lighting, curled up like a kitten-like girl. The long eyelashes swayed gently with the breath. Maybe it was because of being hunted down, or because of the filial piety of the father and daughter. Obviously, Zhang Xiaoyi is very tired now. In the chair, fell asleep. The lonely and curled figure looks like a homeless stray cat. However, this really fits Zhang Xiaoyi's current situation. Jiang Bai tiptoed, suppressing his voice. Slowly raise the camera. Then, take a photo of the cute cat-like appearance. Pulling out the photo, the painting style is still distorted. But warm-toned lights flickered and twisted. That curled-up tender body looks even more pitiful. Forget it, just treat it as picking up a stray cat. Who made him the kindest Kamen Rider? Besides, the style displayed by the Cavalier's security department. It's not wrong, it just makes him feel uneasy. Maybe it's because there are undercover agents, but they still can't find out. Or it must be the words that regard him as an enemy. As for Zhang Xiaoyi, anyway, you have hands and feet, so take care of yourself a little bit. She can't starve to death. Better develop the caring side again. In the future, I will be responsible for housework and the like. Take it as avenging that pink. Zhang Xiaoyi, how do you still remember? Dragon Boat Festival reading big discount. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity time, June 22nd to June 24th, advertisement. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel so you are notified of future uploads. You can find the next parts in the playlist visible on the screen or on my channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.